Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? I am fine. In my blue t-shirt. Okay. Hope you're well. All right. So the big news today is our gold. Let's see what it's at. It was 24.98. It hit 24.99. Do we got 2,500? Because if we do, we got a 3,000. We all want that. Do we get it? Yes, 2503. Mark that down. It was 2504, 2503 at 2:45 on August the 16th. If you notice, there's very little 10 o'clock derivative, 24.96 down to 24.80. So it dropped about $15 and then boom, boom, boom. And now the rest of the day, boom, boom, boom. And this is without Asia. This is US going up 2504. And as you see, silver starting to make its move, but we know it won't go much past 30, 31. We're waiting for that to see 33, 35. Once we see 35 through the roof, this is a beautiful sign, 2503 on its way to 3,000. Now, as I said, so for example, you've got 100 shares of it, which you bought earlier in your life when it was 1,500 or 1,000. And now you got 100 ounces. Well, so this was 2,400, it's now 2,500. So it's gone up $100. And you multiply it by the 100 ounces. You just made 10 grand. But if you're in Bitcoin, you didn't just make 10 grand, did you? You did it first. All right, I got in at $2. Yeah, everybody gets in at $2. And now it's down to what, 50 something thousand. So you made money when it hit 20,000, but you didn't cash, I guess. Then it went up to 70,000. Okay, you made good money there. You made 50 grand. Okay, well, you made 70 grand. Okay, and now it dropped. Now it's in the 50s. So now you just lost 20 grand. Any way you look at it, you lost 20 grand. Now I'll take my guy at the Toyota dealership. We had conversation about Bitcoin and we had conversation about gold. And I kept trying to convince him, as I do with you guys at the casino, to take your profit, right? You're playing blackjack, you start with $1,000, you're up to 4,000. Take your profit. You're not going to keep winning. And that's what you do. That's how you make money. That's how a professional makes money. He takes his profit and says thank you, and he plays a little bit more. He's hot because a lot of days you're not hot. So he goes on, and so he's lost 20,000. Right. So I explained this to my guy. He says, "Well, I'm still up, 40,000, 50,000, whatever." I says, "Take your profit and play the rest then, but take your profit." And he wouldn't do it. He's kind of, so I'd come in the next time, a couple months later to get my next oil change. And he's sitting there going, 2505. Oh, I'm so excited. And he's sitting there. He didn't sell it yet. My wife wants me to hold it. Finally, he talks to a guy and he says, yeah, he runs a park company. He says, yeah, every day I take my earnings and go buy gold with it. And then he realized the method of what I'm talking about, and he sold a lot of his Bitcoin for gold. And so he's starting to, here's the point. Okay. Bitcoin maxed out at 70,000, but now you've lost 20,000, right? It's 50, 55. Okay. Where's it going from here? Well, wait, it's going down now. What's going to drive it up? Huge demand for gold, as you can see, but not so much in Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going down because Larry Fink got involved, and you're fucked when Larry Fink gets involved. He's the worst. So what? So your 100 ounces of gold that you've already bought and you're holding gets you 10 grand every 100. So if you bought it at 1,500, which means you spent 150,000, you bought it at 15. Now it's 25. You made $1,000 times 100. Let me see. That's 3 zeros, 5 zeros. That's $100,000 you made, and it's not even close to being done. So you made $100,000 in gold, but do you realize that? No. All you know is gold went up to 2,500. A lot of people are, I better sell now. It's at its high. It's not at its high. It's not close to its high. What you're seeing is COMEX breaking down. And what you're seeing is the demand by the BRICS countries to buy gold to get out of it. What you're seeing is the dollar being destroyed and everybody getting out of it. And there's only one lifeboat, which is gold, which we know about. So he can make another 100,000 if it goes up to 3,500, which the way it's going, give that a few months, October. So we will see what happens. But it's not going down. It's not going to do what BRICS is, what Bitcoin's doing, right? Bitcoin's falling. Gold's not falling. Gold, now it's being played by derivatives, but looks like we're almost done with the derivatives. Still a little bit of play, but silver, yes. Silver's still being handcuffed, but gold's not. Gold's too much demand, too much taking delivery, blowing up. Basel III, Tier 1. There's too much stuff going on for gold. And here it goes, right? We're not even getting a true value of gold, but we're getting a better movement on gold. The true value on gold is 20,000, right? Because you got all this derivatives knocking it down, which aren't market. You don't have a free market on gold. So my point is, if gold was free market, it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of the Mantle card and the Rolex, 50, 60,000. How is a Mantle? There's two Mantle cards and they're 70,000. You got the Montana rookies 125, the Rice rookies 100. So don't tell me gold wouldn't get to 100 if these are getting to 100, right? So that's what I'm saying. In the free market, if you didn't have the derivatives pushing the price down, which are bullshit government/banks pushing the price down, not the free market, which you don't have in Rolexes and baseball cards. Those are free market. So if you had that, that's where I'm saying it'd be about 20,000. Now, I was listening to Andy Scheckman and Mark McGuire today. Don't waste your time. Andy Scheckman, I have no idea. He doesn't really have an idea. He's kind of clueless in the fact he's not an economist. He's a salesman. He's not been educated. And he doesn't know what to say, but he says a lot. I'm trying to help everybody. And gold's doing this, and the yen's doing that, and the dollar's doing this. But he doesn't really say anything. Didn't say anything about BRICS. Doesn't know when COMEX is going out. Doesn't understand paper versus physical. He doesn't talk about it. All he talks about is himself. Aren't I a wonderful guy for trying to help people? Are you helping people? Or are you just trying to sell for your store? Is that your business? I'm neutral because I tell you what's really going on. I tell you how to invest and what to do. Lifeboats, Titanic, and everything else, BRICS and COMEX. You understand what I'm telling you. But when Andy speaks, we don't understand what he's saying. Mark McGuire, at least we got COMEX and BRICS, the BRICS meeting in October, and everything's going to go and $3,000 gold. But Andy doesn't bring that up. Andy's learning from Mark. Mark's not an economist. Mark was a banker, stockbroker, not an economist. So he doesn't really fully get that. You still think prices are inflation, which they're not. And he made this comment, which I just blew out of my head, where he's still not getting it, but I can't think of what he said. Shit. Something to do with free market. I'll have to come back when I think of it. But he makes a comment, and I just shook my head. It was a Bobby moment. It was a shake my head. What is he talking about moment? So he doesn't really understand. I can't think of it. But the point is, it's not prices. Oh, okay. The point is, he says it's not gold going up, it's the dollar going down. My favorite pet peeve. These guys are all wrong because it isn't the dollar going down, because the dollar's got nowhere to go. The dollar is 99% gone. Where's it going? To negative? So that's my pet peeve. All these guys want to say it's not gold going up, it's the dollar going down. No, it is gold going up. It's gold going up because it was repressed down. So gold's going up to its $20,000 normal price. Then you can make the comment. Had it been a free market, and had gold reacted like the Rolex and the Mantle card and the Montana rookie, and it's at 20,000 now, then I would agree with you. But you're wrong. Gold's going up because of the COMEX blowing up and the demand driving the price up. It's not the dollar. And gold has not been the same price since the Roman Empire. Don't give me that crap. The Roman Empire was probably a free market for gold and silver. Okay. And then Spain probably had a free market for it, but it was always gold, right? And then in France, in England, I don't know if it was tied to their dollars or not. But what you have now is the gold is not at its right price. So people are buying it. Its right price is 20,000. So when it goes from 2,400 to 2,500, that is not the dollar going down. I hate to break it to you. And you don't know what the gold real market price is, because it's being price fixed, just like oil. You can't say, well, look what it is in oil, because oil is price fixed. You guys are missing the whole, you're clueless in that the oil is price fixed, as well as every other thing on COMEX is not its real price. So when you look at gold versus a house, okay, maybe that's fair. So in 1971, let's play that game, Andy. In 1971, the house was 25,000, gold was 37. $37 for an ounce of gold. And then they took it off, and the dollar, that was it. Is that a fair price? No, because $37 an ounce wasn't a fair price for gold then either. Gold has never been at its real price. It's always been suppressed. Even when we went on the Bretton Woods, it was just it's $20. So you're saying gold never moved? See, the market will move gold if you get out of the way. Laissez-faire. But they won't play that game. They want to control the price. So you have no idea what the real price is. And you can't say it's not going up or it's been a set price. The theory I use that you guys keep using is an ounce, a dollar. It took $37 to buy the ounce of gold. Now it takes $2,500 to buy the same ounce. This is where you're missing my point. The gold hasn't changed. It's still 1 ounce of gold, right? So it took you $37. Now it takes you $2,500. But that price $2,500 is not what it should be. It just shows that the ounce hasn't changed and you need more dollars to buy it. It's showing you the weakness of the dollars. But you guys you guys are misunderstanding. It's not, yes, it takes more dollars to buy it, but we're not where we should be at the $2,500 for the gold. It should probably be $20,000 for the ounce of gold. But because of the deflection and keeping the price down, we don't know what it really is, but we know it's not, we know it's more than 2,500, and we're showing you that it's gold is still an ounce, but it takes more dollars to buy it. But you're getting confused in my analysis that yes, the dollar is weaker, and it's 1 ounce of gold is still 1 ounce of gold, but you're missing the point that it's going up because of demand right now. And yes, it's an asset like a Rolex or like a Mantle card. Same thing. The Rolex was 20,000. Now it's 60,000. Why did it go up? Because the dollar got weaker? No, because of the demand. There is this thing called demand raising prices. If you want a Picasso, guess what? The demand raises the value of the painting. Nah, it's not because the dollar's going down. Now, Oreo cookies and Fritos is going up because the dollar is going down. It's not demand driven. Oreos didn't go up to $5 because of demand. It went up because the dollar's worth less. So that's step A, right? The food did not go up because of demand. It went up because the dollar's worth less, and Oreos are taking advantage, and Coca-Cola are taking advantage of the inflation and raising the prices without demand. There's no demand. They can't sell it. That's why it's buy get one free, because they can't sell it because it's not a demand-based item. So there's two things you guys don't understand, Andy, Mark, Alligator. It's about the really, I just blanked out on that. The two things are, it's not the dollar. It's not, inflation's not prices, number one. It's printed money. The second thing you don't get is, God, I can't believe I drew a blank. The second thing you don't get is it's that assets go up because of demand. So you have to see, is demand driving the price up, or it's the dollar being worth less driving the price up? And normally it's demand driving the price up. In the case of food, it's not demand. It's the value of the dollar is worth less, and it's the companies driving the price up, but the market isn't taking it. So that's the second thing you don't understand. Prices are not inflation, because you can't always raise prices. Right? You think you've got it and you don't have it. So I'm explaining it to you. So now when you do your little shows, I won't bother you with my negative comments, because you are basically clueless. You don't understand, but here's the problem with you. You don't understand, but you're trying to make sense of what I'm saying, and you can't, because you're not me and you don't ask me, so you don't know, which is okay, but that's the problem. So prices are not inflation. It's the value of the dollar dropping, so you need more dollars if the market will bear it. So you can't just make a house $100,000, $1 million. There's no buyers, you can't do it. So there's got to be a market. There's got to be, here's where the market is, and here's where I'm selling it. If I'm trying to sell it up here, it won't sell, like the Toyota's at 35,000 because the market's at 25,000. So you got to learn that. But it's because the dollar is being printed, it's worth less, but does not necessarily dictate the prices going up. So those are the two things that you need to better understand. Assets will go up because of demand. Everybody's buying gold because the dollar's going out. So yes, it is demand driving the price up. It's not the dollar going down. If the dollar's worth a penny, okay, how is the value of the penny? How is this penny driving the gold price up $100 from 2,400 to 25? This didn't drop $100. So there goes your theory. Your theory's shit. It makes no sense. And why do you think that demand doesn't drive prices up? Yeah, of course it does. That's Austrian economics. If there's more demand, the prices go up. That's the whole point of economics. How do you think you price things? Well, you figure out the demand for it and then you price it. And if everybody wants a black magic marker, the price goes up. And if nobody wants it, it goes to zero. Just like my Canadian club. If all of a sudden there's huge demand because it's a 12-year and it's special, I can sell this for $500. And if there's no demand, it's zero. That's how the Rolexes work. That's how this card works. This card, the price goes up because of demand, because there's only 50 and it's Mahomes. So the price goes up. That's not inflation. That's an asset that people want driving the price up. The Mantle card, the Jordan rookie for 500 grand. What do you think that is? That's not inflation. That's demand driving the asset up. That's the same thing with gold. More people want gold than that. That's what Luke uses with the football tickets with his brother, Ohio State, Oregon. There's huge demand for that game, and he could get $5,000 for 50-yard line tickets. But if there's no demand, that's got nothing to do with inflation. That's got nothing to do with the value of the dollar dropping. So you guys are missing that whole point there. That's, yes, gold does go up because of demand, as all assets do. If there's no demand, it goes down. If there's demand, it goes up. Clear as that. Hey, Pat, how are you today? The derivatives failure could be imminent. What a big jump for gold in the futures market. Yeah, you think I'm bullshitting here, don't you? Yeah, I told you 2,500, it's 2,505, and it's staying. See, that's the biggest thing. Last week it went 2,480, and then it went all the way back to 2,380. And then we pushed it back up. It went down a little. Now we pushed it up. It didn't go down much. It went to 2,450, 2,460. And here we go. We broke 2,500, which was critical. Next stop's 3,000. Watch it and run. It's just everybody has it marked at 3,000. And as I'm trying to explain versus Bitcoin, you have 100 ounces of gold. All right. So you bought it at 1,500. It's now worth 2,500. You just made $100,000. Let me show me that in Bitcoin. But now it goes to 3,000. You just made another 500 times 100 is another 50,000. You just made 150,000. But you can't do that in Bitcoin. Not only that, you don't even know, I guess if you bought 100 coins, but you know, you don't have to buy 100 ounces, but I'm just using that because it's simple math. But that's the thing in Bitcoin, how's the value going to go up? Demand. I'm not even in Bitcoin, right? So I don't buy any of it. I don't know who does, but it's not real money. It's not a Mantle card. It's not a Rolex watch. All the things I'd rather be in than Bitcoin, because I don't know how Bitcoin goes up. I know how Rolex goes up, demand. I know how Mantle goes up, demand, or Jordan or Montana. People want the card. It's safe. They know they're going to make money with it. They buy it. And there's a million sports cards. There's one Bitcoin, and it's 58,000, let's say now. So if my gold goes up $500 at 100 ounces, I make $50,000. You're going to see Bitcoin go from, let's say, we'll call it 60s. Is it going to go up to 110,000 and stay? But you know you made $50,000 on your gold when it goes to 3,000. And that's the difference. And you know why? Because of demand, because of BRICS, because of central banks buying gold, and everybody who's realizing everything's collapsing in China, Japan, the UK, France, Germany, Italy, the whole country of Africa going to a gold standard now. BRICS going to a gold standard. So the demand's there versus why aren't they going to a BRICS standard, right? Why isn't there gold-backed BRICS? Or I'm sorry, Bitcoin. Why aren't they going to Bitcoin? Why are they going to gold? Right? Why is BRICS going to gold instead of a Bitcoin? Because it's bullshit, Bitcoin. That's the proof. I mean, if you want, why is Putin not going to Bitcoin? He's going to gold. And you have the same thing with the African countries. They're all going to gold. Nobody goes to Bitcoin because it's not real. So therefore, the demand for Bitcoin is not the same as the demand for gold. And now that we're kind of breaking COMEX, Katie bar the door, as Keith Jackson would say, and here it goes. And we had to break 2,500, which we've done. Now we're on our way to 3,000 because there's not a lot of derivatives left after 2,500. Like they're all in there below 2,500. There's nothing there. So when they do some buys now, it's just going to go 25.50, 25.75, 26, 27 because there's nothing to block it. And they're going to keep buying it because, and to tell you the truth, there isn't any gold out there. The gold is I go to the gold store, my coin store, and the gold is what people have brought in. If they don't bring it in, he doesn't have any for me to buy. There is nothing left. The 255,000 tons are gone between China, Russia, and the central banks. And what happened in the Spanish Armada, where the ships sunk and the gold sunk with it, well, that's still counted. Nobody has that gold, but it's still part of the 250,000 tons is part of and it's not a lot. It's maybe 2 or 3 tons, maybe. But that's the point. It's all gone, right? So now if central bank wants it, as we said earlier, somebody sold 11 tons, and here was Poland and Czechoslovakia and a few other countries buying the gold from the central bank because they can't find it. And yeah, they're trying to buy from each other to keep the price down, but you can't control the free market. That's the beautiful thing about laissez-faire economics. If the market, you're trying to hold this down to $25, but if everybody wants it and the price starts going up because of demand and now it's $75, there's nothing you can do. The market controls everything. And that's the point. 25.42 December futures, beautiful, on its way to 3. Silver is about to run big time. Well, we're hoping. The problem with silver, is you can't really take delivery on COMEX. Gold, they can take delivery of, and that's what they're doing. So they're basically taking delivery of gold, forcing JP Morgan that he needs the gold to do his options. He already owes 12 tons. He got to go to the Bank of International Settlement and buy the gold at market, right? To pay it off, the 12 tons. Well, he can't keep firing options because there's too much buying going on. So JP Morgan's fucked. He's either going to get killed in the options or he's got to stop doing them because he's losing money, which shifts his total to Bitcoin and to silver. Well, Bitcoin's going to get crushed. Silver, he's trying to keep the price down. I don't know why, but I guess the countries who want to make solar power or solar panels need silver for that are wanting to buy it. So they're keeping the price down. I think China's behind that. But that's it. So silver, we got a little bit ways to go, but it'll end up in the same thing because as gold goes up, now at 2,500. Oh, you want it? Well, it's not 2,500 to buy. Let's take a look at my wonderful eBay. So I keep all these as favorites. The 3 things you need to be invested in: Rolex, Mantle cards, and gold. That's my watch list. So let's look at the watch list. Wow. Okay. Let's go back to page 1. So Mantle, 72,000. Mahomes, 500,000. Rolex, 820,000. And the Brady rookie, there's only 10 of them. He had it at 9 million. Now it's 4.5 million. He doesn't know what he's doing. Another Rolex, 527,000. Those prices don't come down. Now let's get to my ounces. All right, here we go. So you want an ounce of gold? Well, it ain't 2,500. Maple Leaf, 2601. Eagle, 2647. So it's those two. I wanted to see the Cougar Ant. I think I got half ounce Cougar Ant, 1327, which is 26 something. Now a quarter ounce Maple Leaf, $700 times 4 is 2,800 for the ounce. Let's see. Where's my Cougar Ant? Here's a Maple Leaf, 2636. Here's a Cougar Ant, basically 2,600. All right. Now it's 800 for a quarter ounce Eagle. Wow. $800. Holy shit. The Philharmonic, this is old price. It's probably much higher. I found this Peyton Manning. I have an autographed one I got as a tip from a guy with the football. So I made him a lot of money. He shows me 3 cards. He says, well, which one do you want? I, of course, go to the Peyton Manning autograph card, 25 count. This isn't it, but this is 257,000. So I got to see what mine's going for. Where's the Cougar Ant? Isn't there a Cougar Ant? All right, let's go here. So here's some Liberties, 2646, 2649. All right, here's my Cougar Ant, 2597, 2594. So Cougar Ants are up to 2,600. All right, we saw Maple Leafs somewhere. And here's Maple Leaf. Obviously, the 2484 is, I bet, gone, leaving 2606. So everything's at least 2,600 for Maple Leaf, Cougar Ant, Philharmonics, 2640 for the Eagle, and the Buffalo is what is the Buffalo? Buffalo 2680. I wouldn't pay the premium on it because it's an ounce of gold. That's all we care about. So you think gold selling at 2,500? Well, try to buy it. Now, if I go to my gold store, this is 20. Okay, so let's say I go to my gold store for this. I'll pay about 26 and a quarter. He's like 110 over premium. So 2,500 is 2610, 2615. It's higher here because you got to pay the commission on gold, and therefore, when they put the auction up, they're milking in the commission on it. They're baking. Pat, isn't silver ETF physical silverback? No, it is not physical. It is a Ponzi scheme. ETFs. Silver futures about to break 29. What a day, King Professor. Well, thank you, Pat. An ETF is a Ponzi scheme. They sell it as they're pricing it to the silver, physical silver, which we don't have a price for. We only have the paper price for it. But if you were to buy 10 ounces of silver in an ETF, whatever that is, I don't know. I don't want to know about ETFs. They're Ponzi schemes, they're made off specials. So you think, you know what? I want to take my 10 ounces of gold. I want it now. It's starting to move. They don't have it for you. You will never get your 10 ounces of gold out of Sprott's ETF. He's a criminal. So is this Rick Rude. They both need to go to jail. They are misleading the public that the ETFs are real gold. They're not. You can't get your gold out. They probably have like 100 ounces of gold, and then they multiply it by 1,000. And so there's 1,000 people with your ounce of gold. You ain't getting your gold. No, or silver. Do not buy ETFs. I warn you, buy physical. You do not want to get LA'd where the people were moving their money into Oxford and then they're supposed to go in a depository, the gold IRAs where you don't take physical. You must take physical. You must have it in your hands, and that's it. Just like this Mahomes card. If I got an ETF of this Mahomes card, I wouldn't get the card. I would get ownership of it along with 1,000 other people, even though there's only 50 of them. You wouldn't get the ownership. It's not yours. This is in my possession. You can't fuck me over with this. just like the gold and silver. It's in your safe. It's in your wherever you're locating it. You can't get fucked on it, right? They can't say, "Oh, well, you can't get delivery." Like the guy in the IRA, I can play that again. Where's my gold? I don't know. Where's my IRA? I don't know. The gold's supposed to go into the depository. Well, did you put it in? No. They were doing, Oxford was doing it, putting it in your depository. Who's Oxford? I don't, they're gone. They don't exist anymore. You got Madoff. You can't trust people, especially with gold. You go to the store, you give them this bullshit that's worthless. He gives you gold and you're dancing and singing because even now it costs you 2,600. How much can you afford? And then before you know it, so you buy quarter ounces, which are $700 now for a quarter ounce. Let's look at quarter ounces. Let's change this to quarter. All right, so we start with the British 667 and Austrian. They always have the kangaroos. Maple Leaf 672 for Maple Leaf. The Eagle 702. Finally getting some. See, these quarters don't move as much as the ounces. Cougaran 675. I don't know what that is and why would I pay $12.28 for it. Avoid this at all. Why would I pay $12.28 when I can buy it for $702? Buy the 702. You're buying the gold. You don't care it's a proof or this or that. At the end of the day, you want gold as cheap as possible, 702. And then we got, here's Great Britain at 678. An Eagle at 690. An Eagle at 705. An Eagle at 700. See, people still aren't sure, so they're sitting there going, well, the price might drop. No. You want to own it. Here we go, 688. No, I don't know what the 397, 699, 694, 700. Here's a Maple Leaf, 694. So here's some good ones. So here's the Maple Leaf, 694, same ounce of gold. The Philharmonic, 675 and 650 for this Snowy Owl, which if it's a quarter ounce, I would take. I love this one, a Fisherman, Australia, 699. Actually, that's a pretty cool one. 703 for Mexican. And all you make sure is they're 999. So you're getting the point. Roughly, I'm paying $700 for an Eagle. So roughly paying $700. So if I still want gold, I can get it for $700 a quarter ounce. Roughly $300 for the 1/10 of an ounce. I can't afford the ounce. It's 2,600. So I get the quarter ounce and the 10th, which really haven't moved. They were the same price at 2,400. They moved like 20. They were like, I bought one for 670 the other day. Would now cost me 700. Or no, that was 270 for the 1/10 of an ounce. Would now cost me 300. But the quarter ounces I bought were like 670, are now 700. And so they're really not like, we've gained $100, and the ounce went from 25 to 26, but not the quarters and the halves. They haven't moved as much. I mean, the quarter you could have got for 670 at 2,400 is 680, 690 for 2,500. That's a bargain to me. That's not. Maybe it was overpriced at 24, but now you've gained $100 and it didn't cost you anything more. $10. So I would definitely recommend 1/10 of an ounce, quarter of an ounce, and it doesn't matter. You get if you can get the Maple Leaf or you can get the Eagle and they're the same price, get the Eagle. And if they're $20, $30 cheaper, get the Maple Leaf or Cougaran. You're buying the gold. That's all that matters. What's gold? 25.05 an ounce for gold. It doesn't say Maple Leaf or US or Philharmonic. That's the market on eBay wanting the US for whatever reason. But as it goes at 3,000, at 4,000, boom. And that's it. And it's being price fixed by Comex, which is about to leave because they're getting killed on they're still shorting gold like a bunch of morons. It's like betting against Kansas City. Well, yeah, we'll take Buffalo. Oh, shit, they lost. Mahomes beat them. Oh, we'll take Baltimore. Mahomes beat them. We'll take the Niners. Mahomes beat them. Maybe you should bet on Mahomes instead of betting against them. And that's what they're doing with the gold. Instead of betting that it goes up, they keep doing derivatives. If they would do the put, if they would stop doing the put options and do the call options, they'd make a fortune because then the price would keep going up. And you can't control the market. And everybody wants gold because you keep printing this to zero, even though all the MMT guys think, well, that's okay, keep printing it. Yeah, you're bankrupt. You got $36 trillion in debt. What the fuck do you think? You're going to keep printing and you're just going to keep growing the debt and nothing will happen. Because you think you're the reserve currency, which you're not. Even if you are, it doesn't matter. You can't print it to death, which is what they're doing. Yeah, you can call me professor. It's fine. So that's where we're at with it. So it's a huge day for that. It's a huge day. There's nothing to watch on Mark McGuire, Andy Scheckman. He's on all these shows. He talks about the same thing and doesn't say anything. He's like Peter Schiff. If you can ever stomach listening to him for more than about 2 minutes, he just talks about himself and gold and doesn't really understand inflation or they don't understand. The biggest thing they don't understand is prices are not inflation. They don't understand that. They think they are, but they don't get it. It's the dollar being printed as the inflation, and the dollar loses its value is the effect of the inflation. The prices are because the dollar lost its value, but not everybody can raise prices. So that's way down on the totem pole. That is not inflation. Okay, so that's what's happening in the eBay market for our gold and our silver. I keep track of it. So every once in a while I go, oh, now I got my ounces are worth, so much. Now I got to change them to 26 and a quarter. I'll wait till the day is over to get the good price. And it's all predictable. I did see something that China was not paying Russia. So Russia was buying goods in rubles, paying yuan, and China, they were paying China, but China wasn't accepting them for some reason. Probably because of the U.S. interference, but it's just going to drive BRICS to go gold back, very soon. So the U.S. is doing everything they can to not let the gold back happen, but no, you're pissing Putin off, and now he's got to go gold back if you're not allowing him to trade with China or India or these other countries. Do you think that the gold movement signals an unprecedented crisis ahead? Well, I don't know that it signals that. I think we already know that we know there's not really a crisis. We know the dollar's going out. We know there's a recession. We know there's heavy inflation. So I don't know what the gold has to do with any of it. It really doesn't. The dollar is being inflated, not anything to do with gold. They're printing the shit out of the money. The recession is because you raised interest rates and you're printing the shit out of the money. So, all of it is really to do with the money and not to do with gold. Gold's kind of the effect. So you printed the money, makes the dollar worth nothing, and then prices go up because they need more dollars to cover the way the money has lost its value. It has nothing to do with gold. We're buying gold because it's an asset. Now, this is like if we bought a Rolex or a Mantle card. Does that make that signal there's a problem? No. The problem is the dollar, and they need to replace it with gold-backed currency, which BRICS is doing, but I don't think the U.S. can. Um, but gold really hasn't. Okay, why are we buying gold? Well, the biggest reason is we know the dollar's going out. We know the dollar's worthless, which we knew since 1971 it's been worthless. Um, and you'd have been buying gold since then, right? So it doesn't have to be a crisis. If they would get gold back currency, everything would be fine. Gold's the key player here. If you just come out with gold back currency, nothing would happen because it would be a stable currency and you'd go on with Say's Law. You'd go to work, you'd get paid, you go take the money that's now gold back and you'd shop and buy things, goods and services, pay your rent, pay your utilities, buy your food, go on a trip. Nothing would change if you just had gold back currency, which is why you're not supposed to get out of gold back currency. But because of the corrupt elite and what are they, globalists, have their heads so far up their ass that they believe that the gold, that they can just keep printing dollars because they're MMT people, modern monetary theory, which are Keynesians. It's a cute way of saying we're Keynesians, just keep printing the money, nothing will happen. And if you keep saying that today's Saturday enough, then you'll believe it's Saturday, even though it's Friday. And that's really the problem. So it's the people in charge are fucking got their heads so far up their asses they don't know what day it is. And you can't just keep printing. You're destroying it. Okay. Oh, the globalists, it's the great reset. They want to do this. No, nobody's this stupid. Why would they want to do it? Oh, for control. Control of what? If there's no money, you have no control. There is no economy to control. You're fucked. What are you going to do? Oh, well, we'll give money to the people. The money will be worthless. What are you talking about? When BRICS comes out with gold back currency, whatever money you come out with is worthless. How are you going to control people? Oh, well, CBDCs, that's not going to be worth anything. Plus, nobody's going to sign up for CBDCs. Well, they'll need money for food. Oh, well, that's a great strategy. Let's starve everybody and make them be slaves on CBDC, except for the gold and silver people who say, fuck you. We're not going there. We're fine. Thank you. We don't need your handout and control. And why the fuck are you trying to control people? Even that logic makes no sense. Who you want to control? And then, so what are they going to do? You've got them controlled. What? Oh, that's great. You won't let them travel because they spent money on something or their political views are X or Y or Z. Yeah, okay. So the money is worthless, and you think CBDCs, they're going to be worthless because they're not backed by gold. You don't have a market anymore, so you don't have anything to control. You control the people. You can't control people. People are going to do what they want. You can limit them, and then it'll just create black markets. If you ever watch Hogan's Heroes, and I do, you see Nazi Germany in the 1940s was all black market. Their Deutschmark was worthless. Hitler had all this gold, and yet all you saw was black market. Right? In a few episodes, they're getting in trouble with the black market or whatever. But that's what happens. You have all these underground economies. Nobody's going to listen to the CBDCs. We'll all have a nice laugh over it going, fuck yourself. We don't want it. We didn't ask for it. And guess what? It's not worth anything. The only thing with value is gold and silver. And so we're going to go live in our gold and silver world. You can live and try to control people who were going to get into the black market. And nobody's going to listen to you because nobody wants to listen to you. So this is the problem. It's all bullshit. Like they're going to control. They don't know how to run the money. They're going to control what? You can't control the economy. You can't control the money. You can't control the people. Oh, so you're going to try CBDCs like people are going to listen? This is why I tell people at least go buy 10, 20 ounces of silver and don't tell me at $30 an ounce that you don't have $300. If you don't have $300, you're fucked anyway. Right? I mean, if you don't have that, there's nothing I can help you with. How are you going to buy food? Are you telling me you can't buy food now? Come on. Luke, we're 2505 going north. We're having a good old time. Pat, apparently a new pandemic is coming, monkeypox. Oh, that's good. Unreal. I told you 25, and now 25 goes to 3 because all the derivatives were in it, the 24s, 23s. Now we got to 25. Here comes 26, all the way up to 3. There shouldn't be much in our way. I'm sure there'll be a little bit of pullback because of the put options, Eddie Murphy, and the derivatives. But nobody's selling their gold. Nobody's profit taking. That's all bullshit. Who the fuck's profit taking? The dollar's going out. You need gold and silver. Are you selling your silver at a whopping $30, or you wait until it hits 1,000? Same thing with gold. I'm not selling my gold at 25. I bought some at 15, 1,600. I don't look at I made 900 an ounce. I look at great, it's going up. And like I said, if you have 100 ounces and you bought it at 1,500 and now at 2,500, you just made 100 grand. So you're waiting on your silver to do that, right? So you got more than 100 ounces of silver. So when it finally goes, you'll be a rich man. And that's so you're kind of in silver waiting for the elevator to go like it is in gold, which is why I'm saying buy more gold now. And then as people start realizing, gold's at 2,500, gold isn't coming down. You would think people would start asking the question, but the problem is they go to their financial planner, financial advisor, stockbroker, and he says, oh, no, gold's temporary. Buy stocks because I get commission on stocks and I don't get commission on gold. So I don't want you buying gold because I don't get the commission on it. Not that it's going to, help you and make you retire a rich man. No. Buy stocks. They're going to crash, but I'm going to make commission on it. So you go to your financial advisor or broker or whoever, and guy's a fucking idiot. He's a salesman. You're getting Madoff. But you don't know because you don't know, and you go to them because you think they're experts, and they're salesmen. They're in it for the commission. Attack on Wall Street. They did it for the commissions. You're not caring about their fucking commissions. You want to make sure you take care of yourself and your family. You're buying gold and silver. And when the stock market crashes, I got asked that before. Well, how much did you lose in the 2008? And I said, nothing. I was not in the stock market. Now, when it crashes and they say, how much did you lose? I'll go, nothing. I made a fortune because I was in gold, because we see what's coming. We see the water coming in the boat. We're off onto the lifeboat. We're not staying on the Titanic, watching it go down, stock market crashing. We're not there. We're in the fucking lifeboat going, we'll be fine. We got caviar here and champagne. Things are looking nice in our lifeboat. Luke, Pat. Hey, Luke, we have liftoff. Oh, yes. Silver. Well, silver, you got to be patient. Silver's still controlled. We'll know when silver hits 35, then we'll have a party for silver. Right now, we're having a party for gold. Yeah, it's just the beginning. This could be the start of the new era, kind of like the stock market has been for 40 years. Well, that's the point. And this is my Bitcoin point, which you'll love, Luke. So Bitcoin, when gold goes from 2,500 to 3,000, you made $500. If you have 100 ounces, you made $50,000. But let's say you have 50 ounces, you made $25,000. You can make 25,000 in Bitcoin now? No, I don't think so. Are you going to make anything in Bitcoin? I don't think so. It's too much supply and demand. There's not enough demand pushing the price up, especially with Larry Fink controlling the ETF. You're fucked in Bitcoin. But they're not in the ETF, or doesn't matter the ETF for gold. It's all comex. There's no there's no comex for Bitcoin. But for gold, that's comex, that's Basel III compliant, that's going away. And China can't buy enough gold, in India, now Saudi Arabia, and we know Russia, and all the boys are buying it, at least till 3,000. There's nothing left. So they're buying scraps, and the U.S. doesn't have the money. They got to go to the Bank of International Settlements to get the gold to pay off the Chinese who are buying it. So so you got 50 ounces of gold you just made. You're going to make $25,000. You got Bitcoin. You're going to make $25,000. I doubt it, but you're going to do it in gold, and you know where gold's headed. That's my Bitcoin argument. Yell at me if you like. Bitcoin up 5%, gold up 1.5%. Very good. So what's Bitcoin at? Is it 60,000 yet? And that's just today. Gold went up $100, right? Bitcoin hasn't. Times your ounces. So hang in there with the Bitcoin. We'll see you later. Our elevator is taking off. So that's really what you want. Gold's finally going up. They're taking it. They know the dollar's going out. So I don't know. I saw this one video, but I don't know if I trust it, that China's not taking Russian payments. I don't think they would do that. They're both in BRICS and they're about to go gold. I don't know why China would be doing that to Russia. And I'm sure they ain't listening to Janet Yellen or anybody. Anyway, where were you when Bitcoin went from 70 down to 55? I didn't hear your percentage as gold kept going. But we broke 2,500, so here comes 3,000. So that's great news. And people don't understand it. Well, gold isn't supposed to go up because we're getting COMEX, the price fixer, out of the fucking way. That's why gold keeps going up, not because there's huge demand for it, right? So the only other thing I'd say is go into Rolex. All right. What else? Let's see how cryptos stay alive in a crypto war. Well, exactly. And but they're priced in dollars. So when the dollar keeps losing value, why isn't crypto going up while the dollar's going down? As these idiots say, oh, it's not gold going up, it's the dollar going down. Well, if it's the dollar going down, why isn't Bitcoin going up? So I don't know what Bitcoin's at, 60,000? But not up like gold's going, because all the central banks, as I said earlier, the central banks are buying gold. Russia and China are coming out with a gold-backed currency. Africa is coming out with a gold-backed currency. They're not coming out with a Bitcoin-backed currency. Bitcoin is just, it's not even that it's volatile. It isn't anything. It's not real. So when the dollar goes out, all their money's priced in gold. Happy times. So they don't lose value, but the Bitcoin it'll go to zero because it's $50,000 and the dollar's worthless. So you want to be stuck in Bitcoin, you think you're making money in a depreciated asset of dollars. And gold is being priced in dollars, but doesn't need dollars. It's going to be gold. It'll be its own price. That's the difference. It'll be what it can buy. All right. Well, people will start realizing that crypto is bullshit, and gold, now that it's going to the roof, will realize, oh, fuck, I should be in gold. I assume, I don't know, you're going to stay in Bitcoin and watch it, or you're going to go into gold. I don't know. That's up to you. I don't have a penny in Bitcoin. I heard that. I knew it was a Ponzi scheme the minute I heard it, because it's not backed by anything. That's the key. Is it backed by something? No. I want a dollar backed by gold. I want gold because that's king. It's not the gold standard for a reason. There's no Bitcoin standard. Gold is gold. Gold's the thing. Bitcoin up 108% for 1 year. Well, what year are you talking about? Because it ain't up It went from 70,000 to 50,000. That's not up. 150% for 2 years, for 5 years. I don't know, Luke. I don't know. How could it go up if it was 70,000 and it went down? What are you looking at? So stay in Bitcoin. Good luck to you. I don't know where you're getting these numbers. There's no way they're correct. You're taking a point in time. Gold was 1500. I don't know where you're getting it from. Gold was 1500. It's now 2500. So that's the point. Bitcoin. What was it a year ago? Wasn't it like 60, 70,000 and now it's 50 and somehow in your math it's up 108%? That's impossible. And 2 year, it's impossible because Bitcoin hit like 50, 60,000. So if you look at the low for the year and because it's so volatile, maybe you get these numbers, but I think you're full of it. I don't buy any of that. I know what Bitcoin did. It went way up, and you're not taking that number. So shame on you. You can't fool me. August 16th, 23rd, Bitcoin was 20. Okay, what was it on September 13th? What was it October? Right? You're taking a low point. I know it was much higher than that. So, yeah, you can nitpick and take the lowest point. I'm not buying it. That's absolute bullshit. So, no, don't agree with you at all. You're just taking a point. Well, I know, but your argument doesn't hold water because you're taking the low point of the year 28.7, wasn't it 60,000? What was the high for the year? Like 60,000, 70,000? So if you take that, well, because Bitcoin's so volatile, you don't know what to take. You don't know when to take it. Gold, we know, is 1,500, and now it's up to 2,500. So we know it's gone up $1,000. Bitcoin, 28.7, it's a fantasy number. That's not what it was in 23. I'm not interested in that because it's look, what was the high and low for the year? What, 70,000 and 28,000? I know you. Yeah, well, that's good. You sold. So okay, so let's go 67,000. What's it at now? 50,000, 55,000. So let's play apples with apples. So it was 67,000. It ain't 67,000 now. So you're down if you take the high, but look how volatile it is. So you want to take a point at 28,000 and say, look how good it was. And I'm saying, but that's not the case. It's 67. Bitcoin's what? Let's say 60,000. I don't know. I don't look at it. I don't have time to waste to look at it. Let's say it's 60. So it's down. Is gold down? No. Shit, gold's up from earlier in the week was 2,400. Now it's 2,500. And I'm just going in a week. I made what you made, and it's not going down. It's not as volatile. Okay, so you lost $8,000, right? So that's the point. It's not a return on investment is negative, but gold isn't, and that's the point. So you could look for the low number. I don't look for the low number in gold, but it probably was. I know it's never been anywhere near. It's probably the low was maybe 22,000. But I'm just looking at this week, 2,400 to 2,500. That's my point. And you don't see it dropping. And it's derivative based, where Bitcoin is free market based until now when Larry Fink got his hands on it. But do you think your 59,000 is going up or down? But we know gold's going up from 2,500. So it's the safer, less risk. It'll out percentage gold, but not worth it won't out percentage gold. That's insane. How can it outpercent its goal? Where's it going? It's not going up, it's going down. With Larry Fink in charge of it, I guarantee you that. So you don't know, but you don't know why it's going up. None of the governments are buying it. There's no Bitcoin standard. There's a gold standard. Everything points to gold going up because the demand for gold's there. There's no demand for Bitcoin. As you can see, it's dropping, except for Larry Fink playing options with it. There's no demand for Bitcoin. Where's the demand? By whom? It doesn't work with solar panels. You can't use it for solar panels or phones. Oh, by the way, it's not anything that's real, so you can't use it for anything. It's not a money because it's way too volatile, and it's not backed by anything, and it's not accepted. There's no acceptance in Bitcoin. You can't go to Kroger's and use it. You can't even, can I buy a tennis racket with the Bitcoin? Can I buy Ohio State tickets with the Bitcoin? Probably not. Who'd be dumb enough to accept it? I know Toyota doesn't accept it. So there's no acceptance for it. So it kind of hurts the demand for it versus gold. Like I said, I can go to the restaurant and use silver and buy a meal. I can't do it with Bitcoin. So anyway, enough of this jibber jabbering. Gold could be revalued overnight. Yeah, and what do you think the revalue is going to be? Higher or lower? You think it's going to be lower? I don't think so. I think gold has 10 times potential, the miners 50 times, assuming there's still a dollar. Again, you're with the miners. Get off the miners. Just buy the physical. When the stock market crashes, the miners are going to crash too. But the gold coins aren't going to crash. So you keep playing, you're playing down the wrong road, right? So you're going to get burned in the miners because the market's crashing. So I show you China crashing, Japan crashing, Germany crashing, the UK crashing, France crashing. When they crash, the richer people are going to pull their money out of the stock market and housing market and the banks here, where they're holding their money for safe haven. They'll take it and that'll crash all those three things. And that's just understand that's what the people need money are going to take their assets. Like when we need money, we'll sell some silver, or we can sell the mantle cards, or if you have a Rolex, you might sell it because you need money. Well, in their case, they have their money in our stock market, in our banks, and our houses, and they'll sell them. Not all their money, but some. So they sell the houses, and that's what causes the crash because you're going to sit there and you're going to go, well, I want, why is the stock market going down? Oh, because all the Chinese are selling it because they need money. All the UK people are selling it and the French people because they need money. Remember, these are the rich who live there, not the average guy. Probably doesn't have his stuff in US, but the rich who are getting hurt in China, Japan, the UK, France, Italy, Germany are all getting out, getting their money, and guess where they go? They go buy gold and silver. So that's what will happen. Gold has 10 times percent, the miners 50. Hey, look, understand the variables. You don't get it. It's not a 50 times thing. That's in a normal market. This is not a normal market. The miners will never go up 50 times. Gold can go up 50 times. So gold's 2,500 can go to 25,000. The miners, I don't know what they're at now. I don't look at stocks now. So Newmont Mining was at 40. You think it's going to go to 2,000? 20, 200? 40 times 10 is 400. No, you think it's going to go to 2,000. Newmont Mining is not going to 2,000 a share. Sorry, buddy. Doesn't work like that. If there's even a stock market, well, let's say there is, it might go up 50 when it goes down to 10. So if you wait to buy it at 10, then it might go to, well, it's still not going to go to 500. you're throwing around numbers, but they're not realistic. Yeah, gold should go to 20,000. That's realistic because that's probably its real price. But the miners are free market. So the miners have already gone up. So Newmont was 60. I got out of it in the 50s. I saw it at 40. Uh, it's not going to 2,000. No. And why fuck around with it? Because you might not get your money out of the market, right? But see, you want to get out of the paper, right? You're missing that point. You don't want to be on the Titanic. You don't want to be in this. If you're in stocks, you're in this. And when the dollar crashes, your stock's going to be worthless. And the gold will always have value because gold's money. So you keep missing this point. When the dollar goes, the stocks are got to get revalued in whatever new currency it is. So what are you going to do when the dollar's gone? You own Apple. What are you going to do? It's not going to be worth anything. The balance sheet. What's the balance sheet's priced in dollar? Oh, my cash and my fixed assets and all that stuff. Capital is zero because I don't have the dollar doesn't have value. Your house zero because it's valued in this currency. So everything valued in this currency, and this currency goes boom. Then what's the value of it? What's the value of your house when this goes to zero? How's my house valued? Oh, it's in dollars, and the dollar value is zero. The house is worth zero. Your stocks are worth zero. The money in the bank's worth zero. That's why we're buying the gold and silver physical, because then it's gold and silver will always have a value. This won't. So you want to get the hell out of this because it's going to zero and the gold and silver will keep going. Everybody will run to the lifeboats like the end of the Titanic when the panic sets in. The panic sets in, gold and silver go. And that's why you want to be in physical and not sticking around in stocks. You're coming up with numbers that are not realistic based on, okay, 50 times zero is zero. So if the stocks are worthless because the dollar's gone and it goes up 50 times zero is zero. So I don't know how you think Newmont Mining will be $2,000 a share. I do know Berkshire Hathaway will be worthless, as will Apple and Microsoft and all those stocks. Well, they'll probably go down to $10 a share or something until the dollar goes out, and then they'll have to revalue it at whatever the new dollar is, which will be worthless until it's backed by gold, which we don't have any gold. So just get off the boat. Right? I'm trying to get you off the Titanic. Get onto the lifeboat, which is physical gold and silver. You want to stay on the Titanic. I see this and I understand it. You're going to make so much money in physical gold and silver, but you're still like going, well, no, I want to get in the stocks. I want to be in gold stock. Buy them after it crashes. Then you have my blessing. Right now, you don't have my blessing. Because you're going to catch this shit going down. You're going to catch Newmont going from 40 to 5. You want to be in it at 40, watching it go to 5, or do you want to buy it at 5 and then hope it goes? And then we'll have to see what happens. Let's see. Where are you, Luke? Gold could be revalued overnight. I think gold. Okay. GDX mining ETF up 3% today. Gold up 2%. What's the value of the gold ETF? And it gets reset every day. And who runs it? Oh yeah, Madoff runs it. Not interested. 30. Okay. Very true. You may not get your dollars out. I'm diversifying 30% miners. 30. Yeah, I know that, but I'm telling you to not be in the miners. Not the return on the silver and gold are much higher than the return you're going to get on the miners. Considering selling some more miners for more physical or panting my car off, paying your car off. Okay. I think the panic will also attract a ton of people to Bitcoin. No, nobody's going to Bitcoin because Bitcoin won't have a value. When the Bitcoin value goes to zero, because Bitcoin's priced in dollars, it's $59,000 and the dollar goes out and Bitcoin goes to zero. You going to jump into Bitcoin? No. Pat, 1 trillion times zeros are exactly, Pat. Once the metals are sold out, the only way out are cryptos. No, you buy the metals at a higher price. Cryptos are still going to be zero. Until you can price cryptos in a different currency, aka gold or silver, your house is going to go to zero, and not in cryptos or gold, in dollars. You got a $500,000 house priced in dollars goes to zero. What do you think the Romans did when they took the gold and silver out of their coins? Do you think what do you think their value of their house went to? Zero, because they couldn't price it in anything. You've got to have the mechanism of a medium of exchange. So you've got, this is your medium of exchange. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it euro. This is your medium of exchange. You go to work, you get paid this. You got to pay your bills, you use this. If this is worthless, then everything that's attached to it is worthless. Well, I got a 500,000 euro house. Well, the euro's zero. What's the value of your house? Zero, until we get a new mechanism or gold. Oh, my house is worth gold. Okay. How much gold is it worth? Well, it's worth 2 ounces, 3 ounces. Oh, okay. Because again, you're not, the house isn't worth 500,000 anymore because the dollar's crashed. So the house is worth nothing in dollars, needs to get replaced with gold, silver, or the new dollar, and not Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has no value by itself. Bitcoin's naked by itself. It's got to be priced in dollars. Where gold and silver doesn't need that. Gold and silver are priced in gold and silver. So that's really, I think, the biggest fundamental thing that you've got to understand. Gold doesn't need the dollar to be valuable. I would say neither does the Jordan card or the Rolex or the Picasso. You know they're going to have value. They'll just switch, oh, you got $100,000 Rolex. Okay, it'll be repriced in gold and or silver, or whatever silver jumps to. So you're taking locks and you're confusing the lock. Well, I could be in gold and silver and be rich, or you know what? I'll hope the Bitcoin gets repriced in what, gold or silver? Would it be? Who's going to make it priced in gold? Who's in charge of Bitcoin that can change it to a gold price? So one Bitcoin is 59,000 now. We'll call it 60. The dollar goes out. Who's going to say, well, the Bitcoin's now worth 1 ounce of gold? There's nobody in charge of it. So how does that happen? Who's the one with the mechanism to now say it? Gold and silver doesn't need that mechanism. Gold and silver is gold and silver. You'll take it because I go to the grocery store with silver, they'll take it. Oh yeah, you can have, you got a tenth of an ounce of silver for eggs and milk and bread? Absolutely, I'll take it because I know it has a value. And you don't know what the Bitcoin value is, but you know silver and gold have a value in their own because they are legal money. And that's what you're kind of missing, and you're looking at it if nothing happened. Yes, if this was 10 years ago and the gold price went up and the miners went up, I could understand that. But this is dollar going bye-bye. This is not the dollar not going bye-bye and gold going up and the miners going up. That's the fact that you've got to realize, is the dollar is gone. I mean, again, I'm calling it the way I call the Titanic. It's the iceberg, the water's coming in, it's sunk, right? I don't have to wait till it's at the bottom of the Atlantic to say it's sunk. Water's coming in and it's sunk, but we're slowly going underwater, and it not officially sunk until it's completely gone. But as soon as that water's coming in, it's sunk, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. The fact that the dollar's lost 99%, it's lost 100% to me. I don't need to wait till it goes to 100. Nobody wants it. They're all de-dollarizing. Bitcoin or BRICS coming out with the gold-backed currency. Who's going to want the dollar? 60 countries want to join BRICS and go to the BRICS currency, not the dollar. All everybody's buying is gold. Nobody's buying Bitcoin. They're buying gold. And nobody wants the dollar. And as I've said, when there's no demand, it's not worth anything. So you have something worth nothing, right? That's the problem. So yeah, I got a house. Oh, it's in dollars. There's no more dollars. Now, your house is still worth something, but we have to figure out, okay, what's our current? Well, we don't have a currency, so it's gold and silver. Oh, okay, so the house is worth how much in gold? And that needs to be figured out by the market, just like it is now. You sell tennis rackets, Luke. How much do you sell them for? Well, 300, 400, 500, whatever the market will bear. And you sell it for 500, nobody buys it. You lower your price, you put a sale on it, you finally get to 250 and there's buyers. Okay, my price is 250. That's how you'll do gold and silver. You'll have the tennis racket, which has a value, and you'll sit there and you'll put it on your store and you'll say, okay, let's try to get 1 ounce out of it. 1 ounce of gold for it. Nobody wants it. Half ounce of gold, a quarter ounce. Okay, finally, a quarter ounce of gold sells my tennis rackets. Now you've got your price. Same thing will do with your house. The value of gold goes to what? The value of gold goes to $0. So right now it hit $2,500. Let's say it gets to $20,000. The dollar goes out. What's gold worth? Whatever it'll buy. There won't be a price anymore. But it'll purchase because of demand, and everybody's panicking because the boat's sinking. You go, well, fuck, I got to eat, and what am I going to do? I got a house here, but I don't know what it's worth because it's not worth anything in dollars. And that's where we start making a market in gold. And we go, well, I'll give you 2 ounces for your house. That's what the gold will be worth. It'll be worth the house. 2 ounces will buy a house. That's the purchasing power. 1 ounce might buy a Mercedes. Okay, now I got it. Because you can't price it in dollars because there isn't dollars. Now maybe BRICS comes in and says, well, we have the BRICS gold-backed currency. So now gold's worth 30,000 BRICS currency. But we don't have BRICS currency, then we'd have to figure it out. But that's what the market will do. And if you get the fuck out of the way, COMEX, and let the free market dictate the price, that's what will happen with the free market dictating what gold will buy. You want to go on a vacation? An ounce of silver. You want to buy a house? An ounce of gold. You want to buy a Mercedes? A half ounce of gold. And now we have somewhat of the value of what gold is based on what the market will dictate. Let's see. 1 trillion times 0. Once the metals are sold out, the only way out are no, dude. The metals will never sell out. The price will determine who sells it. So in other words, let's say there's no more gold and it's 2,500. I don't want to sell it. At what point do I want to sell it? Well, put a zero at the end, make it 25,000, and I'll put a few ounces up for sale and people will buy them. So there's always gold. It's just at what price will the gold supply get out there? But at 2,500, nobody with any intelligence would sell their gold, knowing it's going to go up. And you can see it keeps going up, 2,300, 2,400, 2,500, 2,600, 2,700. Why would I sell it? It keeps going up because I understand why. The demand. The dollar's going out, the demand keeps going up. The central banks keep buying it. China keeps buying it. Saudi Arabia's gotten in the game. Dubai's in the game. These new countries joining BRICS need to buy it. Poland's buying it. Czechoslovakia. Everybody's buying it. Therefore, the price will keep going up. Low supply, high demand equals high price. And we're not anywhere near what the price should be, which is why I'm saying 20,000, which is why I'm saying it's not that, Andy Scheckman, well, it's not really the price going up, it's the dollar going down. No, you're out of your fucking mind. That is not what's happening. This is being driven by demand. Everybody wants gold. There's not enough out there. The price keeps going up. This is how demand works. This is how a free market works. Unfortunately, most of these guys do not understand economics and do not understand a free market. If the demand is higher than the supply, the price goes up, AKA Luke's brother with Ohio State Oregon tickets. It's not the dollar going down, pushing the 50-yard line prices for that game to $5,000. That's how the market works, based on the demand. So I'm going to blow up if I keep hearing it's not gold going up, it's the demand, it's the dollar going down. No, folks, it's demand pushing the price up, not the dollar going down, because the dollar's gone. The dollar, so what are you saying? The dollar went, down 10% as gold went from 2,400 to 2,500? That's the dollar going down? Really? What kind of economics are you teaching? So that's a bunch of bullshit. Luke, 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin. It's the same philosophy as physical gold. Some consider digital gold. I feel safer with physical for sure. I'm 100% out of Bitcoin. No, I know, Luke. I'm just trying to clear it up for the rest of the students. I know you're out and you made good profit. I'm happy for you. And now you're going to make better profit in gold with no risk. And I'll be very happy for you when you do that. Pat, we live in a debt-based system. The intrinsic value of a debt is zero. Gold futures almost 25.50. Well, yeah, because the derivative market, Eddie Murphy's not doing put options, knocking the price down. They're gone because they realize they're losing their ass and they keep getting called, and means they had to come up with 12 tons of gold. So the U.S. is buying the gold at the BIS, Bank of International Settlements, at market. And they're socking it to them. That's the thing, because they've got to pay up. Before, you never took delivery, so the U.S. never had to worry about it. Now China says, I want my gold. And India and the Saudis, I want my gold. I don't have it. Well, you better have it. We want it. And now the U.S. has to pay up. And so they're less apt to do derivatives because they're going to lose their ass, because they can't control the price. They can't knock the price down to 2,200, 2,100, where half of their derivatives lie. They're getting, they're not hitting the strike price. The strike price is 2,200. Oh, fuck. We just lost that option with was 1,000 contracts at whatever the value is. They can't possibly win on their contracts. So they keep losing their ass. Oh, well, it's okay. We'll just keep printing money. Well, we're out of money. We don't have any more money to print. We can print fake money. We can play Monopoly. We can print the Monopoly money, but that's not going to help us. So that's where you have these problems. So yeah, it's going to 3,000, Pat. I mean, that's where it's going, and it's just the start. And here it goes. And there's nothing the U.S. can do because they have to pay the 12 tons. 12 tons of gold at 32,000 ounces of gold. So 12 tons is a lot of money that they have to print to pay the Bank of International Settlement to take the gold to deliver it to China. And they're fucked because they can't do it. So that's how they're doing it. And they're fucked because they don't have the gold to sell to them. But that's the game now. Basel III says you got to deliver the gold T+1 day. You've got to pay off those who took delivery. And this is what blows up COMEX gold for the U.S. They're fucked. And it's not there in silver yet. But as you try to buy gold and it keeps going up and up and up, less people can afford it. And what do? You run to silver. Now, the amazing part is people like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they don't get it. Well, I've got $25 billion. What do you think is going to happen to them? Oh, we're going to have a good laugh when they lose everything. They're smarter than we are. He's the Wizard of Wall Street or whatever. How much gold does Buffet have? Nothing. Doesn't have any gold because he doesn't understand it's money. He doesn't understand it's real money. So he has 225 billion in monopoly money. So I hope those orange 500s buy you a lot. And now, if he ever got smart enough and said, geez, I need gold and bought $25 billion worth of gold, you would see gold go to 10,000 in a heartbeat because you wouldn't be able to buy it all. So the price would have to go up because there isn't that much gold available. So then you're going to have to raise the price to find $25 billion worth of gold for Warren Buffett. But he's waited way too long. He doesn't get it. He sees the gold price go up, but he ain't listening to me, so he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not an economist. He's just a scammer who sold insurance. He's not a financial expert. So therefore, he's going to lose everything, and we're going to love it. Let's see. Gold Fuse 25. Luke, 1 ounce on SD bullion 26.25, going to 3,000 quickly. 1 ounce of silver 35. Well, because the silver hasn't gone. Well, I showed you my eBay. Yeah, because silver will go a little higher, but yeah, basically it's the premium, right? So I go on eBay and I don't watch SD bullion. But on eBay, they're 26.50 roughly, and then the Buffalo's higher, and then the Philharmonic and the Maple Leaf and the Cougaran are about like 25.95, maybe 2,600. But yeah, they're basically my guy's 110 over spot. Spot goes to 25, he's 26.10. Spot goes to 25.50, he's 26.70. That's how my guy does it. It's 110 over spot. Where they're getting that number, I have no idea. But if you want to buy gold, then that's what you do. And I look at eBay, and he's very competitive with eBay. He's always a little bit cheaper because the eBay folks have to cover the auction commission, and so they charge more for it. Okay, well that's that. But that's basically what you're doing. So if you want to go on eBay and sell your ounce for 26, let's say it's 26.40, you got to pay commission. I'm not sure about the sales tax, and then you get it, and then you got to pay for shipping. So the shipping cost, you got to insure it at 26. You're insuring it at 26.50. I don't know how much insurance is there. Register letter out and the commission of the auction. You might as well just go to my guy and take spot for it, which will be 25.25 or whatever it is now. But why sell now? It's just beginning. The party is just starting. At 3,000, maybe you think about it. But when I see another zero at the end is when I start. When I see 10, I'll start. Maybe I'll sell an ounce. I got credit cards to worry about, which I don't know if I'm still going to have credit cards to worry about. When the dollar goes out, your house is worth zero, your mortgage is worth zero, your credit cards are worth zero. So we'll have to see what happens there. That'll be very interesting because there won't be dollars to pay it. I don't have a dollar. I can't pay by credit card. What are you going to do? How are you going to use your credit card? This is going to be fascinating. Well, I want to go to Barcelona, so I'm going to book a flight. Yeah, but how are you going to pay for it? This will be very interesting. So everybody's sitting there. Oh, the debt will be 50 trillion in 5 years, and no, it won't, because there won't be dollars to value it. That's my contention when I see that shit. How stupid these people are. The debt will be 50 trillion in 2030. How do you figure? There has to be a dollar there, and there ain't going to be a dollar there. You can't pay off the debt, and the debt won't keep growing in dollars because there won't be dollars to price it in. People just have their head in the sand thinking that you can just keep printing the dollar and it won't go out. Go look at Venezuela and Zimbabwe, for Christ's sake. Venezuela's got 65,000% inflation. Does their dollar have any value? I'd like to know, if you had credit cards in Venezuela, what happened. If we have any Venezuela people or Zimbabwe people in our class, please tell me what happened when you inflated your dollars to 650,000%. What happened? But the leader of Venezuela, I'm sure, had his money in gold and US dollars, so he wasn't affected by it. And now they want to join BRICS because they got oil. Even though it's bad oil, they don't know how to get it out of the ground, and they keep printing their money. See, that's a perfect thing of MMT guys is Venezuela. They keep printing the money. You have all this oil, and you're bankrupt because you keep printing your money. It's printed to death. Zimbabwe, Germany, on and on and on. Sri Lanka, Venezuela, Pakistan, Turkey's getting close. You can't keep printing your money to nothing. Prices go through the roof, and you're fucked. I mean, it doesn't. The only way out is gold, right? But they don't know that because they don't have Austrian economy, Austrian economics at those countries, or an Austrian economist. That's what I was looking. You don't have that in your country, so you're just fucked because you listen to the MMT Keynesians who say just keep printing money, government spending. Isn't that what FDR did? Government spending, government spending. Yeah, how did that work out? Oh yeah, we're in a depression for 15 years and bailed out because World War II, where we sold everything to Russia and Great Britain, and they paid us in gold, and that's how we survived. 15-year depression that was never should have happened because the stock market crashed because you guys want to do fucking tariffs. Why do you do tariff? What do you need tariffs for? Let the free market happen, and you don't have any of this shit. If you just went on the gold standard and just let free markets go, and you used Austrian economics, you wouldn't have any inflation, you wouldn't have any depressions or recessions, you wouldn't have any unemployment, just a little bit, and that's it. Nobody would worry. You'd know the price. You wouldn't have any interest rates. The price would be fine. Your house costs you $50,000, and in 10 years with gold, it still costs you $50,000. No, but we can't do that. We got to have a bunch of vampires running the government who just want to take them. They've never seen money before. They think they're rich. All these governments, I'm going to love it because they'll be broke because, again, in dollars, they won't have any value. And they're too stupid to buy gold and silver. All right. Let's go to baseball. One game going. In the sixth inning, the Cubbies 4, Toronto 2. Let's update that. Cubbies at the seventh inning, Cubbies 5, Toronto 2. Yesterday, I went 4-2. I hit Seattle under 8. That was the Tiger game. I'll talk about that manager in a minute. Philadelphia wins, Texas under 8 wins, and Milwaukee over 7.5 wins. I lost with the Jets, Jets, and Baltimore's not hitting over 8.5. They didn't get close. I am going to get away from Baltimore and the Mets. The Mets have been costing me. Yankees in Detroit. Yankees minus 208 in Detroit. Garrett Cole, 3-2 with a 4.70 against Bo Brisky, 1-2 with a 4.4. I love the Tigers manager. He pitches a guy for 1 inning. Then he brings in the starter, or who should have started, for 5 innings. And he's a genius because of why, I don't know. It sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Just start your starter. That's the point of it. I got to believe this is over. So let's go Yankees over 8. And we'll go 2 units. Real quick on I'm hearing about a new rule making the starting pitchers go 6 innings. Really? We're at that point? Unless he's pitched 100 pitches or he's given up 4 runs or he's injured. Wasn't that what happens now? I mean, if the guy's going well, he pitches 6 or 7 innings. And then to say there's not a whole lot of complete games, well, because you're limiting them to 100 pitches. So who can pitch 9 innings and who can pitch a complete game under 100 pitches when half the team's trying to hit foul balls to run the pitch count up? So it's stupidity. It's the dumbest rule I've ever heard since these stop clocks and time clocks on the hitting and the pitching. I think that's incredibly stupid. Why are you trying to rush the game? Because it's so boring that you want to get it over? Then why even have the game? I don't see baseball lasting. I don't know. There's no stars in it. And it's really a terrible product. It's mostly minor leaguers. The pitching, you have 10 relievers. You have very few starters. You have very good 300 hitters. It's a very poor product right now. And I don't see it getting any better. Where are you getting your 300 hitters? Oh, they're all playing basketball and football. All the guys that can play. Like Mahomes, he's the quarterback. He's a good center fielder, but he's playing quarterback. All right. KC, Seattle. And remind me, we'll talk about the manager of the Seattle manager. Let me write that down so I don't forget it, as I sometimes do. Seattle manager. Okay. Kansas City, Cincinnati, new series. Cincinnati minus 135, 9.5. Michael Lorenzen, 5-6 with the 3.79 against Nick Martinez, 6-5 with the 3.16. KC's like Baltimore. They got a lot of good pitchers. You know, they don't have that 5-6 ERA guy. They have a couple of Seth Lugo, too, who gave up 10 runs the other day with his 2 ERA. 5-6 at the 3.79. Martinez 6-5 with a 3.16. What do you do here? Let's see. KC on the road is a 236 team, and Cincinnati at home is a 227. So neither team hits. Since he doesn't hit at home, KC doesn't hit on the road. Over under 9.5. I got to go under here. KC under 9.5. And 2 units. I don't know. They're all over the place. This is the problem with baseball. One game it's 10-0, and the next game it's 2-1. You know, and I'm taking into consideration. I know the good pitcher from the bad pitcher. Washington, Philadelphia, Philly minus 275 and 9. Patrick Corbin. Jesus Christ, 2-12 with a 5.98. What is this guy doing in the league? Aaron Noel, 11-6 with the 3.60. Now we see why Philly's a minus 275. So I'm going to go Philly over 9 because I'll go 3 units. Corbin's got a 6 ERA, and Philly hits the hell out of the ball. Nola 3-6, 3.6 ERA, but I got Washington getting 2 or 3 runs. Philly getting 8 or 9. I think we'll get over, and it's much better odds than laying 275. Our favorite team, Seattle, plays Pitt. Oh yeah, Luke, you're going to the game. Well, good luck. I hope you enjoy the game. We got Logan Gilbert, 7-8 with the 2.91. Paul Skane, 6-2 with the 2.25. So this is going to be for you, Luke. Pitt. I'm going to go under 6. Under 6.5. Yeah, well, we're going to do a double play here. Under 6.5, and we'll play Pitt because I don't want to play Pitt. Pitt under 6.5 for 3 units. Logan Gilbert, good pitcher. Skane's good pitcher, although he's been shaky recently. He's at home. Seattle can't hit. Pitt's not a big hitting team either. 6.5 is tough, but I think Skane's. Let's see if he gets the W here. Enjoy the game, Luke. If you're still around, you'll be back. Arizona, Tampa. Arizona minus 110 and 8. Ryan Nelson, 8-6 with the 4.51 against Ryan Pipot, 6-5 with a 3.92 for Tampa. Arizona's been hot lately. Shit, they're 69 and 53. Wow. Arizona's a 110 favorite, over under 8. Tampa doesn't hit a lot. I got to go over here. I got to go Arizona over just for 2 units. You got a 4.51 ERA against a 4 ERA. Arizona's been hitting the hell out of the ball. Tampa they score once in a while, but both pitchers are kind of weak, and it's just an 8. So yeah, I like that. Boston, Baltimore. Baltimore has been not hitting. Boston hits sometimes. Baltimore 72 and 50, minus 185. Baltimore 8.5 over under. Brendan Bernardino 4-3 with the 3.79 for Boston. Corbin Burns, their ace, 12-4 at the 2.71. I'm going to go under. I'm going Baltimore under. They haven't hit in a month. Baltimore under 8.5 with Corbin Burns. We'll go 3 units. Miami and the JETSs. Ooh. The Jets have been brutal lately. The Jets are minus 250, 8.5. We got Roddery Munoz, 2-6 with the 5.67 for Miami. Sean Manaea, 8-5 with the 3.44 for the Mets. I ain't touching the Mets. I had them the last 2 games just to win, and they won 2 games ago. Last game they lost, I think 10-9 to Oakland or something like that. Let's see. Bullpen is a 4.11 bullpen, so not much there. Miami, they've been hitting pretty good, but the Mets have been inconsistent. They've been playing a lot of low-scoring games. I'm not touching this one. I'm not going to. The Mets will probably win because I didn't touch it. Minnesota, Texas. We won with this one. We had, we had Milwaukee was what we're, no. Yeah, Texas under. Texas either won or lost 3-2 to Minnesota yesterday. So we had under 8. That was the late game. Texas minus 125 and 8.5. Simon Richardson, he pitched like a pig the last game. 3-3 with the 3.78. Andrew Haney 4-12 with the 4.05. Let's go over. Texas over 8.5. We'll go 2 units. Neither pitcher's really that good. Richardson's been okay, but roughed up. And then Haney 4-12 with a 4.05. What is this guy doing? And why isn't he at AAA? See, this is the problem. There's not enough good pitchers. So pitchers that are 4-12 with a 4.05 are still in the majors who have no business being there. So we can't bet on the guy. The guy's terrible. So that's why we go to a lot of over-unders. Cleveland, Milwaukee. Interesting game. 2 good teams. Cleveland 72-49. Milwaukee 69-52. Not bad. Cleveland minus 115 and 8. Gavin Williams 2-4 with the 4.38. Aaron Chevalier from Milwaukee 3-8 with the 5.02. Both pitchers kind of suck. We're going over. Although we hate going over in Cleveland with that bullpen. So we'll just make it 2 units. But I think there'll be enough run scoring before Cleveland's bullpen shuts them out. The White Sox in Houston. White Sox played good the last few games. They're up to 29 wins. Houston's up to 65 wins. But you can't go by that. You can't say, well, the White Sox are – it's all matchups, right? Ken Houston hit this pitcher, Garrett Crockett, 6-9 with the 3.65 against Spencer Spaghetti, 5-10 with the 5.14. Oh, my God. Over under 7.5. Okay, this is our lock of the day. Houston over 7.5, 5 units. Spaghetti with a 5.14 ERA and Garrett Crockett 6-9 with the 3.65. Altuve and the boys are home. There's about 300 hitters on the team. White Sox have started to hit, and they should hit Argotti 7.5. Holy shit, that's ridiculous. This should be about a 9. You can't look at the White Sox batting average and say, oh, no, they're not going to hit. It doesn't work like that. The Dodgers and the Cardinals. The Dodgers 145, 9.5. Justin Roblowski 0-1 with the 4.05 against Miles McCullough, 8-9 with the 5.30 ERA. This should go over. Yeah, let's go St. Louis over 9.5. All right. We'll just go 2 units. San Diego, Colorado. This game went way over yesterday. Good hitting team, San Diego. Colorado at home is 40 points higher. Colorado is a 267 team at home and 219 on the road. That's 50-point difference at home and on the road. All these little pop-ups go for home runs at home that don't go anywhere on the road. San Diego 165, 11.5. Matt Waldron 7-9 with a 4.00. Cal Quantrell, who just sucks, 7-8 with a 4.56. So we're going to go over with Colorado over the 11.5, and we'll go 2 units there. It's funny, you kind of go, how can I play this? And then you look at their scores. It's 15-7. It's a football game. It's 11-10. I mean, they scored 20 runs in the fucking game. It's unbelievable. And our last game, Atlanta at California. Atlanta minus 165.8. Spencer Swellenbach, 4-5, 3.95 against Jose Soriano, 6-7 with the 3.36. I am not playing this game. No interest. I don't know California. Since Rod Carew left and Reggie left, I don't know. All right, Yankees over 8, 2 units. Kansas City under 9.5, 2 units. Philly over 9, 3 units. Pitt under 6.5, 3 units. Arizona over 8, 2 units. Baltimore under 8.5, 3 units. Texas over 8.5, 2 units. Cleveland over 8, 2 units. Houston over 7.5, our 5-unit play. St. Louis over 9.5, 2 units, and Colorado over 11.5, 2 units. So, these are what should happen. Again, very small bets. The Houston game, I'll bet a little more. And the 3 units, Philly, Pitt under, Baltimore under, I'll go a little bit more. So we will see. All right, we're going to do some college football. I'm going to go through the quarterbacks who have statistics who are decent. Now, I'm going to be on my Excel page, so I can't see you, but it won't take too long. I'll go probably 3 or 4 minutes to get ready for our season that starts next week. Okay. So I was looking at this. Looking at this just before, there's about 15 quarterbacks. So we'll start in the Big 12. Kansas State lost their quarterback, Will Howard. Arizona, Noah Fafita, 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, 19 sacks. Not bad. UCF, KJ Jefferson at Arkansas, 19 touchdowns, 8 picks, 42 sacks. No wonder Arizona sucked last year. Their offensive line must have been terrible. West Virginia, Garrett Greene, only 16 touchdowns and 4 picks. I wonder if he was hurt. TCU, Josh Hoover, I think did get hurt. 15 touchdowns and 9 picks. Oak State, Alan Bowman, 15 touchdowns and 14 picks. Kind of sucked. But they got Ollie Gordon, the great running back. Now, here's my favorite. Primetime Junior, 27 touchdowns, 3 picks, 52 sacks. Now, let's compare him to Fafita from Arizona. 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, and 19 sacks. Prime Junior was told not to throw the interception, get sacked. 27-3. So it looks good until you see 52 sacks and you realize no. Texas Tech 15-8, 15 sacks. Brandon Morton. Rocco Beck, Iowa State 23-8, 13 sacks. I won't tell the sacks unless they're big numbers. Cincinnati, Brendan Shoresby 15-5. Houston, Donovan Smith's back 22-13, pretty bad. Daquan Finn was at Toledo, is now at Baylor 22-9. I don't know why some radio guy has a problem with him. Liberty, 32. Salter, 32 touch, 6 interceptions, and only 9 sacks. Liberty's tough. Western Kentucky gets Findlay, 24-8. Jacksonville State smothers 6-4, not a lot. L Tech, Jack Turner 5-5, nothing. Middle Tennessee, Nicholas Viteo 23-11, 32 sacks. Holy shit. Florida International, Michigan State plays. Jenkins 11 touch, 11 interceptions, 36 sacks. Wow. That's it for that. SEC, Bobby Bow Country. Newsmeyer at LSU, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Oklahoma Arnold, 4 touchdowns and 3. So be careful with these new guys. Georgia, Carson Becks, 24-6 with only 11 sacks. Quinn Ewers at Texas, 22-6, 27 sacks. Now you know what Texas's problem was. Milrose, Alabama, 23 touchdowns, 6 picks, sacked 44 times. Holy fucking Christ. Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, 23-5, sacked 27 times. A&M, Connor Wagner, 8-2, pretty good. Brady Cook, Missouri, 21-6. That's why I'm high on him. Graham Mertz at Florida, 20 touchdowns and 3 picks, 31 sacks. This is the kid at Wisconsin who came there. So that's what we're looking at. So he's, not good statistics, but they didn't win a lot. Peyton Thorne from Michigan State, who's now at Auburn, 16-10, 31 sacks. We now know why he's not that good. Taylor Green at Arkansas, taking over for Jefferson, 11 touches, 9 interceptions. And Daggio Pava, my guy from New Mexico State's taking over for Vanderbilt, 26-9. Not bad for a New Mexico State guy. They probably haven't scored 26 touchdowns in 5 years. And Old Mississippi State gets Blake Shapen, 13-3. I think he's from Baylor. Notre Dame, Riley Leonard, 3-3. Nothing. I don't know all the hype about him is. He's in the Heisman running. Yeah. Oh, sure he is. Texas State, this is a really good quarterback. Jordan McLeod, 35-10. We're in the Sun Belt. And then we got from Appalachian State, Joey Aguilar, 33-10. This is why I bitch when they don't draft these guys. Are you kidding me? Guy plays for App State, 33-10, and you don't take him seriously? Or McLeod, 35-10 from James Madison. I'm surprised he didn't go to Indiana, but another quarterback did. Let's see. Gio Lopez at South Alabama, 4-2. Coastal Carolina, Ethan Vasco, 7-1. Arkansas State, Jalen Rayner, 17-7. See, here I got to look at the teams. In the SEC, I knew what team the quarterback was on. Southern Miss, Marshall Mitch Griffiths, 9-7 with 35 sacks. Holy shit. Old Southern Miss gets the Florida State backup. Tate Rodemaker was 5-0. And Old Dominion gets Grant Wilson, 17-8, 52 sacks. I am so happy I added the sacks line to this because this shows you how weak the offensive lineman is and how bad the quarterback is. All right, the MAC. There's not a lot here because these guys most of them have graduated or gone on, like Toledo and Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio, Brett Gabbert, 14-5. Bowling Green, Connor Bezelak, 12-7. Western Michigan, Hayden Wolf, 8-5. Cole Snyder's at Eastern Michigan, used to be at Buffalo, 13-9. And Akron and Kent State. Kent State, Ulatowski, 7-2 with 9 sacks. All right. Mountain West, we don't have anything. Vegas's quarterback's gone. Utah State's quarterback's gone. San Jose State's quarterback gone. Boise's quarterback gone. Air Force quarterback gone. Wyoming, San Diego State, Nevada, all new quarterbacks. So this will be an interesting first few weeks. Fresno State got Mikey Keene back, 24-10. They go play Michigan. New Mexico, Devin Dampier, 6-0. Colorado State, Braden Fowler Nikolsky, 22-16. And Hawaii, now we've heard of him, Schlager, 26-14. Holy shit, 39 sacks. So 26 touchdowns you expect out of Hawaii. 14 interceptions, but 39 sacks. I guess that's what you can. No running game. They throw for 276 a game and rush for 75 yards. So it's pass or nothing. So when they play UCLA, look for them to blitz a lot. Oregon State, Washington State, both their guys are gone. Uglia Buglia went to Florida State, and the Miami guy went to, or the Washington State guy went to, Ward went to Miami. Memphis, Seth Hennigan, 32-9, big, good quarterback. UTSA, Owen McCout, 4-3 to replace Frank Harris. South Florida, Byram Brown, 26-11. Rice gets Kurt Warner's son, EJ Warner, who was at Temple, 23-12. Not bad. And now he goes to Rice, he should be very good at Rice. He'll be a lot better. UAB, Zeno, 20-9. Florida Atlantic, Cam Fancher, 11-11, 27 sacks. Nothing much. Can't really talk Army and Navy. Charlotte, their quarterback sucks. Trexler Ivy, 4 touchdowns and 10 picks. See, this is where you bet against Charlotte because look at their quarterback. He's terrible. 168 yards passing, 45 rushing, 300 yards a game. Yeah, let's bet against Charlotte, right? Until they prove they're better. ACC, SMU, Preston Stone, 28-6. Florida State, Ugly Buglia, 21-7. Statistically not bad. North Carolina, Max Johnson, who was at A&M, 9-5. Cam Ward from Washington State is on Miami, 25-7. Sacked 39 times. He doesn't read the defense. He doesn't know how to get rid of the ball. Go Florida, beat Miami. California, Ferdinando Mendoza, 14-10. Georgia Tech, Haynes King, very good, 27-16. Look for him to get his interceptions down. Louisville gets the Texas Tech quarterback Tyler Shaw, 7-4 last year. He was injured. Cade Klubiak, Clemson, 19-9, 28 sacks. Virginia Tech, Kyron Drone, 17-3. Grayson McCall, we've heard of him. He's at NC State now, 10-6 last year. He got hurt. Kyle McCord, the Ohio State quarterback's at Syracuse, 24-6. Boston College, Castellano, 15-14, nothing special. Virginia, Anthony Calladria, 13-9. You can see why these teams suck. Quarterback, 15-14, 13-9. You know, the guy at Memphis is 10 times better than these guys. Stanford, Ashton Daniels, 11-8, sacked 27 times. Wake Forest, Hank Bachmeyer, who sucks. He was at Boise, then went somewhere else, 10-5, 19 sacks. And then you got Pitt, Nate Yarnell's new, 4-1. And last but not least, our Big 14. We'll call it the Big 10, but we know there's like 20 teams in it. All right, Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma is now on Oregon, 30-6. Jaden Maivita, who is on USC, came from UNLV, 17-10. Will Rogers is on Washington from Mississippi State, 12-4. Drew Allard, Penn State, 25-2, but he didn't beat Michigan or Ohio State. Now, a note from Penn State, they should get a lot better offensively. The Kansas offensive coordinator is now the Penn State offensive coordinator. Look for Penn State to score more. Ohio State gets Will Howard, 24-10 at Kansas State. UCLA, Ethan Garbers, 11-3, but he rotated with the freshmen. I don't know where he went. Illinois, Luke Altmaier, 13-10, kind of sucked, 34 sacks. Now you know why Illinois sucked. Wisconsin, Purdue, Hudson Card, 15-8. Wisconsin, my guy, Tyler Van Dyke, 19-12 at Wisconsin, but they're going with again, the air raid type of offense. We'll see. Bad year, bad coordinator. Got hurt a little bit, but he's much better than that. Jesus. Rutgers gets the Minnesota quarterback who sucked, Athlon Kalamakis, 14-9. Indiana gets Rourke from Ohio. Minnesota gets some guy from New Hampshire. Nebraska's got a Georgia transfer, was the third stringer at Georgia, so no stats. Iowa gets Kate McNamara, who was at Michigan, who was there last year, 4-3. And Michigan State gets Adam Childs from Oregon State, who's a good freshman, 4-0. Back to the class. So just a brief update of everything. Okay, no new comments. So why did I do that, and what does it show you? What's the value added to that? Well, the good quarterback like Memphis, you can say, well, they're going to be in good hands. He threw 32 touchdowns. Joey Aguilar, App State, and James Madison, and these other Will Howard at Ohio State. We see that there's a lot of NAs because you got new quarterbacks, which is you need to know because the whole chemistry, how are they going to match? So week one, we're watching these NAs, except Cam Rising. Didn't mention him because he didn't play last year. He's a 40-5 guy, Cam Rising. So we will be betting Utah early and often. Great defense and probably the best quarterback in college. So look for them. Now, people won't recognize him as the best quarterback. Too bad. We don't listen to other people. We are the lead. And so we know how good Rising is. We know how good their defense is, and we know how good Utah is going to be. They'll be a playoff team. They're a top 5 team right now. Great coach, great defense, Cam Rising, good running, good passing, all over. Tight end came back. Ruthie, he was All-American 2 years ago, hurt his knee. And so they both sat out last year, and they're both itching to come back. So you got an All-American tight end with an All-American quarterback, great running, great line, and great defense, and a great coach. Look for Utah. They're going to be pissed off this year. They were frustrated last year, but look at them to get revenge this year. And now they're in the Big 12, and there's no Oklahoma and Texas there. Utah should sweep through it. TCU might be good there. I doubt Texas Tech. Oak State with Gordon, the running back, could be good, although I don't like their quarterback. Cincinnati, nothing. UCF, I don't know. So there's not a lot. Utah should roll here. So I show you so you can see, well, should I bet this team? Well, now, again, we're using last year's stats. The transfers, we can't, like, go Van Dyke. We got to watch him at Wisconsin. SMU, yes, their quarterback's back. They played Nevada week 1. Nevada's got a new quarterback. Colorado State, we see their quarterback's back, but he kind of sucked. So you're really looking at it. Oh, USC with Maivia, he's a good quarterback from Vegas. Now he gets to learn this system. I think he'll be very good at USC, but I don't think their defense will get better, even though they got the UCLA defensive coordinator. Does he get all the credit, or was it the Twins and the couple of All-Americans that UCLA happened to have? Was it Brady or Belichick? And now we know it was Brady. Was it the defensive coordinator that made UCLA good, or the fact you had 4 All-Americans on the team? So we will see that at USC. Is he going to get better or not? I don't think they get much better because the way they run their offense, it's terrible for their defense. They're never resting their defense. It's 3 and out or 3 and a touchdown. So look for that. Maivia should be okay, but it's tough with it's definitely tough with USC's defense, and it's not very good anyway, but it's just tough to not get rust. I mean, 3-4 plays, you either score, throw an interception, or punt. The defense has no chance to rest. Now they're back on the field, and if they play a decent team like LSU, they're going to be on the field half the game. Look out for that. So really, the quarterback's the key, except for maybe Army, Navy, but even a good running quarterback's the key. They're not going to throw too much. And that's really what you got to do. But that's why I introduced the quarterbacks. Then you see the Kansas offensive coordinators now at Penn State. So you keep an eye on that. Now, we don't know all the coordinators. Maybe we need to. But I know, the certain ones I know to do. Anyway, we'll get into that. We got NFL preseason we'll talk about tomorrow. Now, the Seattle manager in baseball should be fired, and I'll explain why. I used to play baseball. Pony Colt was as far as I got because I had to work. I did want to play in college at Oakland U, but had to work. So if you're facing a really good pitcher and then they pull him for a reliever, you're happy. Oh, I can hit the reliever. I can't hit the pitcher. It's all mental. So what does this idiot do for Seattle? You got a 1-0 game, and you're going into the 8th inning. You take your fucking pitcher out. Are you kidding me? It couldn't hit him. You take him out. You bring in one reliever who gets 2 outs immediately, but what do? You take him out for another reliever. What does he do? He gives up single and a home run. He gives up a home run to the worst hitter in the league, Happy Baez, who's hitting all of 160, but he's been hot a little bit. Now, the problem is all you had to do was throw him your curveball in the dirt, away from the righty into the lefty batter's box, and he swings at it. So what does he do? He does that the first couple pitches. What's he do it's a 1-2 count. What's he do? Throws a fastball right down the middle, and the guy hits a home run. Is this game fixed? Are you seriously bringing in another pitcher with a 1.2 ERA who doesn't throw the slider, the curveball into the left, where the guy swings every time and going to strike out? You got a 1-0 lead, and he grooves the ball right down the middle of the plate, and the guy hits a 2-run homer off the only pitch he can hit because he can't hit any curveballs. You don't throw a curveball, or I don't know how these guys know they're throwing a slider, or curveball, or fastball. It's all bullshit. So you throw the guy a fastball down the middle, and he hits a home run. You're winning 1-0. Why did you take your starter out? Right? He got him out 3 times. I don't know. They had gotten like 2 hits in 7 innings. Why would you take him out? So that's the first thing the manager should be fired for. The second thing is he then pulls a reliever in who's fine, and then you take him out for another reliever who sucks. And he goes, and it's single or double and a home run to the worst hitter in the league, hitting 160, 170. Why are you giving him a fastball down the middle when if you throw him a curveball or a slider or any of these breaking pitches into the left-handed batter's box, he swings and misses? Why are you throwing a fastball right down the middle? Well, are you kidding me? You want me to think this is real, or is this WWF? Managers should be gone for stupidity, because he did the same bullshit the night before in a 2-0 game, and he gives up a 2-run homer to another guy that the other guy was kind of hot, where there was a guy on second with 2 outs. I would have walked the guy because he's been hot and he's hit 2 homers the night before. I would have walked him to get to the next guy who's hitting like 180. These managers aren't very smart. They don't walk the 300 hitter to get to the 180 hitter. There's a reason they hit 180. They don't know how to hit. So what the fuck are you doing pitching to the dangerous guy with first base open and then let the other guy come in and just strike him out, which is you got a ground ball of the mound after it was 2-0, went to 2-2. Why are you so quick to take your starter out? He's shutting them out. Why? Because it's the eighth inning. Do you pull him? Are you a fucking idiot? Is your head way up your ass? Yes. Especially knowing that the hitters psychologically can't hit this guy. And if you let him pitch the eighth inning, he's going to go 1, 2, 3 again. And I would let him pitch the ninth inning. I don't care if he throws 110 pitches. This is where it's so fucked up. You got these pitchers thinking, well, I'm at 95. That's all I can go. Instead of finishing the game, you're completing the game. Keep that mindset, not 100 pitches. 100 pitches is bullshit anyway. I mean, come on. There's no rhyme or reason that 100 magically pull out of the hat. Oh, it sounds like analytics again. Just like this WAR and OPS bullshit that don't make any sense. Well, analytics say go for it on 4th down and 2. Okay. Cost the Lions the Super Bowl. And let's go. You know what? Gosh darn it. When he gets close to 100, we got to take him out because he might get tired. You know, we don't want him to get tired. Or you can't go through the lineup the third time. What kind of crap is that? What the fuck? Yeah, it really hurt Koufax and Bob Gibson and Nolan Ryan and Roger Clemens. Yeah, they couldn't go through the lineup 3 times. Oh, my God. Yeah, Koufax. Yeah, Nolan Ryan. What, he had 6 no-hitters? Yeah, it really hurt him going through that lineup the third time. Oh, my God. Jim Palmer, go to the Orioles staff with the 4th 20-game winners in 70. And, just go down, Catfish Hunter, Vita Blue. Go down the list, and they all finish their games without much problem third time through the lineup, especially with most of these lineups with minor league hitters. Most of these teams, except for I think Philly, have at least 4 guys hitting under 210. Now you might get that 210 guy, and then I love when the 260 hitter is being pinch hit for the 180 hitter because he's facing a lefty or a righty. So then the batting averages are just not even accurate because the righties are only facing lefties. So when a righty pitches, you get lefties. So the lefties really don't hit 250 because they're only doing it against the righty. So if the lefty comes in, they're hitting 110? Or they don't even bat against the lefties? Is that how stupid the game's getting? So the manager should be fired on the game he blew 2 nights ago and the game he blew last night by going to the bullpen. When his starters shutting them out on 2 hits, why would you take the pitcher out? I don't give a fuck about the 100 pitches. That's absolutely bullshit. So to do what he did last night, he cost his team, makes you think that the game was fixed. He's betting on the Tigers. When he gets to the appropriate moment, the pitcher grooves a pitch to the 160 hitter and he hits a 2-run homer. That's absolutely WWF. You lost the game on purpose. It was fixed. I mean, that's there's no other excuse. All you have to do is throw a curveball to this guy. He can't hit. I got girls and fast pitch softball that hit better than this guy, and he can't hit. And then you groove a fastball and 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th with the runner on, and you're up 1-0, and you groove a fastball. Really. These are minor league pitchers. Unbelievable. All right. So that was that. Let's go to football yesterday. Preseason game. NFL, it was Philly and New England. I did give you Philly as the dog. We didn't bet it, but that was the pick, and it won. Let's look at the game. Philly wins 14-13. Let's look at the box score. So Philly scores late in the game. The quarterback sucked, Milton, but let's take a look at this. Philadelphia, Tanner McGee from Stanford. He sucks. 15 out of 19, 140 yards against the fifth string. Kenny Pickett, what's he doing on the team? 11 and 13 for 67. 11 for 67. Wow. Will Greer, my guy from Florida, why is he only getting 5 attempts and you giving Tanner McGee 19? Will Greer is much better than both of those. 3 and 5 for 35 yards. So I don't know why he's not seeing more action. Maybe he got hurt. New England, again, with their heads up their ass. Drake May, 6 of 11 for 47 yards. Oh, my God. Again, six passes, 47 yards. So there are a bunch of dump-offs. How many? He had 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a sack. Zappy goes 3 for 4, 29 yards. Joe Milton III, what is he doing? He stinks. 2 of 7. Yeah. Okay. And Brissett, 3 of 7. Your best quarterback there is Zappy by a mile. And then Brissett, and then Drake May's your third stringer. So way to waste a number 2 or 3 pick, whatever it was. Will Greer's better than Drake May on Philly. Philadelphia, Will Shipley from Clemson, I think, 5 for 15. Gainwell, I like him, 3 for 8. He's good. I don't know who Davis Price is, 4 for 28. New England, no running. Stevenson, 6 for 18. I don't know who Harris is, 3 for 16. Drake May, 4 for 15. So, again, another guy that can't throw like J.J. McCarthy. He's a runner until his knee goes out. Receiving, Philadelphia, Nagata, I think it's the tight end, 5 for 88. No touchdowns. Shipley, 4 for 31. Watkins, 3 for 28. Gainwell, 3 for 10. He's good. That's about it. New England, the only guy they have on their team that's any good is Boutte from LSU, 3 for 23. Wallace, Baker, who the fuck are these guys? Rieger, heard of, 1 of 7. Polk, sounds familiar, 2 of 6. I think he's from Washington. Let's see. Jay Polk, wide receiver from Washington. God, I'm good. Second round, 5th pick. Okay, he's not going to help you. Boute's your best player on your team. So as you can see, again, the lack of coaching. Okay, Philly, where's Hurts? Why isn't Hurts playing? Why is Real Career 3 of 5? Why is Tanner McGee taking any snaps? He's not a pro. And Pickett, you know what he is. So I would have had Hurts out there for at least 10 passes and then let Will Greer clean it up. I would not have had Pickett out there or McGee. New England, Brissett, 3-7. Why is Milton out there? Zappy, you know what you got. And Drake May, 6 of 11. It's for whopping 47 yards. You got to be kidding. So New England, big trouble. Probably won't win a game. Not with that lineup and not with their coach. So today, let's look. We've got, we don't have anything. Tomorrow, Atlanta at Baltimore, Cincinnati and the Bears, Joey Burrow. The Giants in Houston, Detroit at KC. If Detroit plays their only quarterback, we'll see if Hooker's playing. If he's not, I would definitely jump on KC. Mahomes will get a couple, and then whoever their backup is. Detroit's guy sucks. Minnesota, Cleveland, Seattle, Tennessee, Arizona, Indy, Washington at Miami, Super Bowl 1972, Buffalo at Pitt, and the Jets at Carolina. Why are Carolina favored? The Rams and the Chargers. Okay. And Tampa, Jacksonville. And Dallas at Oakland. And then Sunday we got Green Bay, Denver, New Orleans, Frisco. So I'm going to give you two picks. I'm not betting them, but I'm giving you two picks. There was two I saw. One of them was probably Philly yesterday. Well, I gave you anyway. The first pick's going to be the Rams. San Diego's 2.5, 33.5. We got Stenson Bennett probably the whole game. Take Stenson Benson an 8.5. They'll win the game easily. And I'm going to say New Orleans. Frisco's 138.5 because I don't think Brock Purdy's playing, and you're going to get, I don't know if they're going to play their starter, Carr, but you know they're going to get Hayner and Rattler out there. So that gives them a huge edge. So let's say New Orleans in 7 with San Diego, with the Rams in 8.5. The Rams in 8.5, I'm almost tempted to bet that. Maybe Washington also. Miami's 5 over Washington. You're going to get Daniels a little bit. You're going to get Hartman. Hopefully they let Hartman play a lot. Again, that's the problem with preseason. Who should be out there and isn't. And if Herndon doesn't, if Hooker doesn't play, then I like KC because Detroit will use their one guy. Because God forbid they put their starter out there, he could get hurt. I think they shouldn't play him the whole year. You know, what kills me is everybody's saying how good the Lions. Oh, the super. What are they on drugs? I mean, this is a typical where they don't look at who they play, and they're trying to say how good the coach is, and with Goff and. Look at a good roster. What are you watching the same thing I'm watching? See, this is where everybody misses the boat. The key is the defense. That's the key to the team. Do they have a defense? No, they don't. Their defense gave up 30 a game last year, and they didn't help it because you kept the same defensive coordinator. Why didn't you go after Spagnuolo? Pay him. Then you want to go to the Super Bowl. You can get there with Spagnuolo. You ain't getting there with this guy. But, there's 4 games in a row. He gives up CeeDee Lamb and Jefferson twice, and the guy in Tampa, 250, 220 yards a game. Throwing to the guy 15 times for 250 yards. And what have you done to change it? Nothing. Oh, you drafted another cornerback from Alabama who we know are not good pros because of their defensive, thing that which the Saban had him in. You want the LSU cornerbacks, Honey Badger and those guys. So not really understanding this, that Detroit, they won't beat Green Bay for the division. They probably should lose to the Rams as long as Stafford plays. Although Stenson Benson's looking good. So again, I don't get it. And so I don't get this hype. The ESPN guys or whoever it is, just they hype the hype. You got to ignore it. This is why I don't watch it. I happened to be on the bike at the gym when they had Cowher talk about the Lions, and I was ready to throw up. Again, totally misunderstanding. The team has no defense. So that's their problem, right? And they'll lose a lot of games this year because they'll play better teams. So if Stafford plays, they'll probably lose to the Rams, and then I didn't see their whole schedule, but I think they get Philly or somebody, and Frisco, I think. So they lose to the Rams, they lose to Frisco, they lose to Philly, and then whoever they play in the AFC, I don't know who that is. But they'll beat Minnie twice because Minnie doesn't have a quarterback, and they'll beat the Bears twice because they don't have a quarterback. I love how everybody's looking at Caleb. Rookie of the year, Brock Bowers, Oakland. Best quarterback will be Penix. Again, I hear the idiot on the radio trying to tell us how good Kirk Cousins is. This guy's on drugs. Had you watched him at Washington? Did you watch him at Minnesota? How many playoff games did they win? Oh yeah, 0. With Jordan Jefferson, he couldn't win anything. At what point did Cousins get good? Because I'm seriously going, what the fuck are you talking about? We know what Penix did against Oregon twice last year and Texas. Penix is 5 times better than Cousins. Oregon's defense was better than anything Cousins saw last year. What are you talking about? At what point did Cousins become a good quarterback? Because I don't see it. And then at what point is Penix not a good quarterback? Because you can't show me where Penix wasn't a standout. Both Oregon games, the Texas game. I don't know if they played UCLA. He killed USC. I don't know if they played Utah. I don't remember their schedule, but they would have had Utah, UCLA, which they were undefeated. So he obviously beat those teams. Washington State and Oregon State had very good defenses, and he struggled in the rain against, I think it was Washington State, but they won like 24-20 or something. But it was because it was raining out. What are you watching? Why do you think Bo Nix is no good? What do you guys on drugs? How do you think they do well in college? They're going to do well in the pros. And they suck in college, like Drake May and J.J. McCarthy. They're probably going to suck in the pros. J.J. McCarthy gets injury prone. He was injury prone at Michigan, hurt his knee, didn't he? And then Cade McNamara led him to the championship game. I remember McCarthy took a couple of snaps and fumbled the ball and threw an interception or whatever. He's not a big game quarterback. All he did was hand off. So, again, these guys on the radio are like Andy Scheckman. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm gonna talk to say something, but I don't know what I'm saying. The draft of Penix was genius because you thought you weren't going to get him, and so you took Cousins because he's better than nothing. You got rid of your nothing from last year, Ritter and Heineken, and you took so you took Cousins, and then Penix falls in your lap, and that's why you take him. I don't understand taking Penix. I've kind of, and when has Cousins been any good? Who's, by the way, still with the Achilles injury. You don't know if he's going to play, and he might play, the first series, and then that's it. Then I'm hearing some idiot on the radio talk about the scrimmage is just as good as the game. The scrimmage is controlled. There's no tackling. There's no, you can't blitz the quarterback. It's all a controlled type of thing, watching for injuries. Well, that doesn't get him ready for the game. There was some medical thing that came out on Coward's show today where all these injuries happen because they're not ready to take a hit. They're not being hit. They're not running full speed. So they get a lot of hits because these practices are not game situation. And that's why these players are all getting injured, as I've told you. You are not in game shape by just practicing, right? That's like me, like I said, going to the driving range and hitting 15 drivers in a row. Now I'm ready to go to the golf course. No. That's because I don't hit 15 drivers in a row at the golf course. We come to the first tee, I hit the driver, and then it's 7-iron and wedge, and I'm putting. Maybe the second hole is a par 3. Oh, okay, the third hole, I got my driver out again. Not 25 in a row. It's one hitting other clubs, chipping and putting, and then going to the driver again and trying to figure out how do I do it. Don't tell me practice is the same as the game. That's bullshit. Preseason, these guys are a bunch of babies. Oh, I don't want to get them hurt. And I don't know how much is the owner where he's got the investment and he's scared to do it. And I'd tell the owner to fuck off. You want me to coach? You want to win? Don't be afraid of injuries. Like Kansas City, they played Mahomes, Kelsey, everybody played last week. No injuries. And oh, yeah, they won the last 2 Super Bowls. And they have their starters, their stars out there playing in the preseason game. So don't give me that shit. That's how you win the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow played last week. Everybody played. Only McCartney had the injury. But what do you expect? He's injury prone. So Cousins, I don't know. I would have Penix out there half the game tonight because he's got to get ready. And I don't. First of all, he's better than Cousins anyway. And secondly, he is. You don't know if Cousins is even ready from the Achilles. And even if he is ready, he's not very good. So you can lean on Atlanta, but you can lean on Cousins. They ain't doing shit with Cousins. Now, when they go to Penix, they'll start winning. So if he is healthy, I'd give him 4 or 5 games till he starts throwing double-digit interceptions. He'll be, 6 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. And then maybe you'll go to Penix because you want to win. We'll see. But the better quarterbacks, clearly Penix there, just like Bo Nix at Denver. Okay, Minshew, San Diego's going to love not having Brock Bowers. Player of the year, and they took a guard instead from Notre Dame. Unbelievable. These are idiots. These are idiots who are in charge of these GM, and I don't want to say, oh, they're so smart. They're not smart. Just like these guys talking about gold and MMT guys, look how smart they are. Yeah, you can keep printing money, no problem. Okay. You guys live in some strange fantasy world. Anyway, that's it. So baseball again, Yankees over 8, Kansas City under 9.5, Philadelphia over 9, Pitt under 6.5. Good luck. Enjoy the game, Luke. Arizona over 8, Baltimore under 8.5, Texas over 8.5, Cleveland over 8. Houston over 7.5, St. Louis over 9.5, and Colorado over 11.5. These are today's baseball picks. Bet them very small, very inconsistent. A lot of minor leaguers, especially in the bullpen. A lot of idiot managers who run to their bullpen for no reason, take the pitcher out for no reason. Let the fucking pitcher. He's got a 1-hitter going after 7. Let him finish the fucking game if you want to win. Now, if you don't want to win, why are you the manager? Maybe we need a new manager who actually wants to win the games. So we see that in football and baseball where they're not qualified to be managers and coaches. They get the job. They use analytics, which is not the way to coach, and they're just idiots. So anyway, let's check what our gold's doing. Our gold should end for the weekend soon, if not yet. Silver's at 29, up 64. Gold finished 25.08. Beautiful. So it never really dropped. It dropped a little at 4 a.m, not like $5 or $6. And the 10 o'clock New York went from 2,500 to 2,480, dropped about $20. And then they made up 25.08, 29 silver, Butte. Now they're closed for the weekend. So you won't see action until Sunday night about 7, in case you're interested. And we're on our way to 3,000, on our way to 10,000. Just keep running. Don't think Bitcoin's money and don't say, oh, I'll buy Bitcoin. No, you're not buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. It's not real. I'd rather see you in a Rolex watch. You want something that's $60,000? Buy a Rolex for $60,000. Buy the Mantle card that's $65,000, the 65 tops PSA 9, or buy the Mantle card 68 tops PSA 9 for $72,000. If you want to waste your money on Bitcoin, at least go buy Rolexes or Mantle cards. Don't think for a minute Bitcoin's going up. It's not. It's controlled by Larry Fink, and there's no value in it. It's not money. And with that, I bid you a fond farewell. Have a nice night. Enjoy your weekend. I'll be on about 11 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have we'll look at the preseason and we'll do baseball. And again, we'll keep an eye on bricks and comex. Bricks we know is coming. Gold-backed currency in October. Comex, gold's blowing up, as you can see. No derivatives, no big derivatives anyway. And we got into the 2500s on our way to 3000. So anyway, goody. So let's keep it up. All right, www.teaserking.com. Next week starts. So if you're going to buy a college, you can buy the year. You got till the 24th, which is next Saturday, when Florida State, Georgia Tech, and that starts. Or you can buy it the next week when most of the games start, I think on Thursday. You can buy the year. The year 750 is 600 for college, 600 for the pro, or 750 for both. Or the classes, $25 a class for the week. A college, $25 for pro. So $50 you get all those versus $100 at the site where you would buy. You want all the picks there, it's $100 a week or $300 for the month, which is a better deal also. All right, that's it. So have a good weekend, everybody. www.teaserking.com. All right, take care.